mention it.
Can we do this? Because I showed up late anyway. Can
Now
you
check this out.
give
Hold
me
on,
a
hold on, hold
base?
on. Look at this.
Go ahead.
Look at this. Look at this. They will be back later for sentencing, but it says, okay, so he was found
Yeah.
guilty and we're waiting for the sentencing. Okay. Now, once again, some websites will mention it if that's the case. So if any of you know, just give me the name of the website and we can look at it together. I'm not denying that he was found guilty. I'm just saying, I'm not gonna, play the whole live stream of that other channel. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
find out.
but it say guilty on all charges. So what
Well,
I
I haven't
wanted
seen
to
that.
do,
I haven't seen that. To me, it's a claim. It's an allegation. But feel free, Dev Dapsa.
okay, so can you just brush back up what the
No,
charges
I
are?
don't want to go back on that
Okay, you
one.
don't
But
want
the
to do
charges
it?
I can
Okay.
tell you, you have false. No, I mean that video. I don't feel like going back to that video. But the charges, if I'm not mistaken, you have false imprisonment, you have rape, and you have 3 counts or 3 charges for revenge porn. It's more technical than revenge porn, but we simplify it by calling it revenge porn. Now,
And he
Love
got
Me
to
wrote.
register as a sexual offender, yeah?
Well, I don't know, but me wrote. I watch it live. I'm just not shouting out. No one YouTube channel. That's rude. Okay, I don't really understand. But feel free, brothers and sisters. Some websites will mention the verdict. That's for sure, right? I'm not making that up. So whenever it happens, tell me the name of the website, and then we can see it. Now, if you know some YouTube channel that covered that guilty verdict, then just tell me which channel. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be difficult if they are streaming to tell me the timestamp because it's moving constantly. But we're gonna find out. We're gonna get to the bottom of it. So feel free if you want to get on the panel, if you want to comment in the chat. Feel free, everybody. You are all welcome.
Does your new guest want to speak?
It's VB. VB, but
yeah, I'm streaming Shaka from your live. I'm streaming,
no
so I'm just about to put your link up also, so people know where to find it at.
Peace to all the VBNet supporters, and thank you earlier for liking his video. I mean, how many views he has now? He had over 200 likes when he streamed earlier. So he 9,000 views, and he has 300 likes now. Thank you, I appreciate that. And make sure you subscribe to VBNet's channel as well also. So it's funny because there's this link here.
Didn't he get offered a deal? Didn't they offer him a deal?
Kyra is telling me that if I rewind, then we will see. Okay, well, I will try. I will try. I don't know what it means. Oh, okay. I think it has something to do with maybe VBNet restreaming it. I don't know, but you don't see it, but I see it. But you know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go here. I would have expected that once they say guilty, then the guy, just goes away and I see it. But I don't know what they're talking about. But it's gonna be difficult to find a timestamp.
And in these text messages and through visits was not something spoken to each other, but I guess the thorn are
in the courtroom. Nope. Yep. They're getting ready. Protocol exclusively. No playing around. No messing around. This.
The True Royal. If you don't mind coming up, that's a requirement. I'm not familiar with you. If I saw you years ago, I don't remember. But if you don't want to come up, it's okay. You can participate in the chat. Everybody that's on the panel, I've seen them. I know them. They are not anonymous, unidentified. So please don't be offended. I say that to everybody that I don't know. Okay. So let's continue.
This is exclusive. Shout out to those who are supporting the platform, because you know what? This is one getting with you. Interrupt this. No, you're not dropping. I'm serious. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a verdict, no doubt. I can read the tea leaves. They don't need this much security in it for a question. Oh no, everyone's in. Uh-oh, I see people I recognize.
That's the part for the verdict, if there was a verdict.
Courtroom C.
I'm gonna minimize the background music.
Okay. All right. Can y'all hear us in courtroom C?
My prediction.
We're live with Attorney Akeisha L. Shabazz.
Yes. Okay, very good. Mr. Bishop is present?
Yes, he is.
All right, thank you so much. All right, I understand the jurors have reached a verdict.
The jurors have reached a verdict.
There are to be no outbursts.
Come on,
from
Judge.
anybody
Judge, you know
on
they're going.
either side.
Judge, you know what's going to happen, Judge.
That will not be tolerated. You will be immediately escorted out of the courtroom. For those folks who've already acted out in court and have been sent out, they're going to remain out. So, just FYI. All right, let's go ahead then.
I think it's gonna be a split verdict.
Okay, I think it's going to be a unanimous verdict. Here we go. 1 second. Hold on.
All counts?
Hold on. Here it comes. Stand by. Stand by, Attorney Akeisha. Stand by.
I'm listening.
Mr. Bishop is not in the courtroom. He's in an adjoining courtroom. I don't know why he's not in this particular courtroom. He said he was coming. Okay, here we go. Gentlemen, Mr. Booker is at the table by him. Take you out of here.
Guilty.
One.
The jury, State of Georgia versus Eligio Bishop. On count one, how does the jury find? Count one is right. Guilty. And
Count one, guilty.
Imprisonment. Guilty.
Count two, guilty.
Three, prohibition on nude or sexually explicit electronic transmissions. Guilty. Count four, prohibition on nude or sexually explicit electronic transmissions. Guilty. And count five, prohibition on nude or sexually explicit electronic transmissions. Guilty.
Guilty on all counts.
Signed and dated by U.S.
Guilty on all counts.
All right. I'm going to let the deputy provide the verdict form to the state and to the defense for them to review.
Thoughts, Ike? Thoughts?
No surprise there. No surprise
All right.
there. I mean, the
Let's
jury
go ahead and
provided
mute courtroom C, please. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Let's get the reaction. Hold on.
Okay, I'm gonna rename this live stream, and I'm gonna put that he was found guilty, So, just one moment. I need your points.
So he had what did he get convicted of? Like 5, 6 charges right now, or was it just 4?
5 charges, if I'm not mistaken.
He's gonna spend the rest of his life in jail, bro.
That was because they offered him the plea deal and he didn't take it, right? And so then he fired his attorneys.
And guess
Man,
who
come on,
got
he
it?
didn't even go back in the courtroom for the verdict because that nigga knew. He knew. Man, think about all the stuff they didn't charge him with. Think about that.
Hey, Dabster, and think about who gets to decide the years of those guilty verdicts. It's that judge, I believe. Maximums.
There was a thing up there where the judge had told him, you understand you're facing life, and he took it to trial. Doing that, man, that's a game for an innocent man. Like, that's when you
Facts.
roll the dice. Not as guilty as he is, allegedly. Wait, I don't got to say allegedly. He's convicted.
No means no.
No means no, man. You're out of there, buddy.
Some people have issues with Fox News, so I'm sharing this website here, and we're gonna have a look together. Let me just rename on the other live stream, and just it won't be long. Just give me a few seconds, please, and then we're gonna read. I'm gonna read the article.
This
So,
some BS. What that mean? Somebody said this some BS. I don't even know what that mean.
something in the chat, is it?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure. I don't know what they was referring to. I'm not going to assume nothing.
Well, I see. Sometimes it takes a little, it takes a minute to keep track
Why
of
y'all? Oh well. Oh, why are we happy? Well, I'm not really happy, bro. But it is what it is. Like when you play these type of games, this is how it happens. Like, man, I'm extremely pro black, but there's a line to everything. And you know what? We have too many people in leadership. I'm speaking about black men right now who like to abuse their power. Passport R. That's what was just up here, huh?
Now, the True Will family. Oh, that was you earlier. If you don't mind coming up, it's the same thing. I see you have a profile picture, but this is not a webcam, so it's nothing against you. If you want to come up, feel free. You are welcome. Everybody's welcome. I just require people to come up. Once again, I'm repeating myself, but the Dev Dapser and V Bennett, they are not anonymous. They are not unidentified. They've used the webcam, so. Um, Take your time. I'm going to be here for a while. As a matter of fact, I don't work tomorrow, so take your time. Thank you for being here. Whenever you're ready, and when I say webcam, it can be the mobile phone, anything. I just like to see people. So let me read this. I'll share the link in the chat. Okay, you have the link right there. So the website is WSB TV Atlanta, and it says accused. Now that was 431. So that's basically like a few minutes ago, less than 15 minutes ago. Accused cult leader Nature Boy found guilty on all counts, including rape. The article is by Courtney Francisco. Uh, DeKalb County, uh, Georgia, I presume. GA stands for Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. An accused cult leader has been found guilty on all counts, including rape. The jury began deliberating Eligio Bishop's case Thursday evening after attorneys presented closing arguments. Bishop is known as Nature Boy online. Investigators have accused him of leading a cult known as Carbon Nation, raping a member when she tried to leave in 2022. And oh, what's going on here? I don't know what's hold on. Yeah, they have that website with that banner that be playing up. You know what? Hold on. Gonna look for another website because I don't like that banner thing. Okay, well, never mind. We're gonna do Fox Atlanta. I'm gonna share that link in the chat. A lot of people have issues about Fox News, but it is what it is. It's a media. So this time, alleged cult leader Eligio Bishop found guilty. Hold on, there's some background noise. I'll put you on mute. Feel free to unmute yourself whenever you want to speak. Feel free. Alleged cult leader Eligio Bishop found guilty of rape. So it was 4:46 p.m. So that basically updated 2 minutes ago, but posted at 4:39. So that was like 10 minutes. It was published 10 minutes ago. Okay, so that's Fox 5 Atlanta digital team. The leader of an alleged cult accused of rape learned his fate Friday afternoon. A jury found Eligio Bishop guilty on all counts, including rape, false imprisonment, and charges related to revenge porn. Bishop, who also goes by Nature Boy and Third God, is the leader of the alleged cult Carbon Nation. Prosecutors say he raped a former group member as she tried to escape and then posted revenge porn online. Hold on just 1 second. Just want to put the background music a bit. Okay. Carbon Nation leader accused of abuse revenge porn. Well, you know what? I don't even need to read the whole thing. You know, we got the main thing. You know, so everybody feel free. You know, if you want to get on the panel, if you want to, participate in the chat, feel free. What's your take? Feel free, brothers and sisters.
I want to point this out really quick because I know this can't really get any worse, but I just want people to know the rape and the revenge porn was the same circumstance, right? So just imagine how heartless that is. You rape an individual, then you put it out as if it was something consensual or whatever. Like, that's a whole nother degree of revenge porn or shaming or whatever. I don't know what they call that, but I want y'all to know this nigga put a rape online. Like, they calling it revenge porn, but that was a rape, fam. So I just want people to know that part. This why niggas think I'm happy or something, because I got knowledge of that. So I guess I am happy. I'm happy you gone. I'm never happy to see a black man throw his life away. I got a son. He's young black man. I was raised by my grandfather, and all that shit. I got love for black men. I played team sports. My son's godfather is a black man. I fuck with black men. But come on, man. I'm not the problem here. Oh, Shaka's muted. He must be handling something. I'll take up some airtime. So yeah, I mean, I've been keeping up with this thing for a while, and this be the problem when we give certain people any amount of power. They get so power thirsty, they just go crazy. And then we end up with this. This is something, I'm not gonna say we could have stopped it, but no one's surprised. No one's saying, oh, I didn't see this coming. We all seen it coming. We already knew what it was. I remember when I seen him first pop up recruiting people. And honestly, if Pharaoh would have had it his way, his ass would be up in there too. Line them all up. All these dudes is on that bullshit. Polite, it's the same thing. Everybody got they whatever. But what was Polite's thing? New Covenant. That
Yes, it
same
was.
shit. All these cats. So, hey man, and some of these other individuals, I mean, man, yeah, the other Shaka. You know what I'm talking about? The other Shaka from Brooklyn or Harlem.
Almost do.
Hey, bro. I didn't heard, man. It's coming, bro. No, somebody's probably gonna get away, but a lot of y'all won't. We haven't even. This is just the beginning, bro.
It looks like a beginning because, but we'll find out. But that's the second person from the rape OK, associated with the Shrine of Isefet headed by Jabari Usase. That's the second person part of that crew, that team, that roster, that platform that ends up in prison for abusing a female. Now, thank you. I was actually aware, but I heard everything you said. I heard that you said that you had some knowledge and you have a son who is a young black man. So, you're glad that this guy is away, that he actually shared a porn. I'm sorry, a rape. They called it revenge porn, but it was rape. So I heard that. Thank you for that. Well, everybody feel free. You can get on the panel if you are okay with using a camera. Otherwise, you can use the chat. This time, the chat is open to everybody who is a subscriber. It doesn't cost anything. What's your take on that? Feel free. I would like to hear from you, and I wouldn't mind hearing from sisters. If you want to get on the panel, if you don't mind, coming up, then feel free. There's too many comments for me to read, but I would just, put them on the screen, and we're gonna continue from there. We found out about what 5 minutes ago that he was found guilty. Thank you. Also, I'm sorry. But thank you to all the people who wrote that there was a verdict, and Kyra particularly because she really insisted and took the time. Um, you are correct. You are right. There was indeed a verdict. So now we know what's up. We know what's up. So usually it takes about a week for the verdict. I'm sorry, for the sentencing. So we will see. I don't know if a date was given. Does anybody know if a date was given for? Usually they give the date for the verdict, don't they?
Yeah, they give you a date.
Yeah, for the verdict. Sorry, for the sentencing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We know what you mean. We know what you mean.
Yes.
Yeah,
Does anybody know the date? Feel free, Dev Dapster.
Oh yeah, I don't know the date. Probably somebody in the chat might. But yeah, remember I said he getting life, Shaka. Because the judge already told him that. That's the reason why I'm saying that. Now, they might say 48 years. Okay. They put a year on it. Right? How old is Eligio, Shaka? I'm 49.
I heard he was in his 40s.
He's in his 40s? Bro,
that's what I heard.
A 25-year sentence for him is life, bro. Right, so I'll give myself a little bit of.
They cannot give him life for those charges. I'm not a lawyer, but I doubt that. But we'll find out. Because even some people who kill don't necessarily have life. They get out after some time. So, I doubt that he will have a life sentence. But maybe he will have so much time that he will most likely not get out of prison alive. Yes.
Me and you were saying the same thing. Even if they don't say life without the so if they give you 42 years with the we gonna do this with the possibility of parole. Well, when would you go for parole, Eligio? 26 years. So you're what? Let's say he's flat 40. We just gonna say you're a flat 40. So you could go up to the board. You're about 65. You've done all these great things. You're probably a jailhouse lawyer. This, that, the third. If they sit you back down and say come back in 5, that's what I mean by life. Like by the time he gets out. He won't be able to, I mean, you'll be lucky to have some sort of interaction with your children. You'll be lucky for that. I haven't forgotten none of that. Remember, I have sex with his mom. I let him play with my penis. I do this. This is my kids. Man, all that little weird. Hey, man. That's weird. Yo, bro, he got the answer for that. I don't know what the charge is for that, but that ain't in there.
Come again?
Hey, look, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of a person, they first time raping somebody, they put it up as a video? Have you ever heard of that? How many people has this dude raped, bro? I know you don't know. This is all rhetorical. I'm cool if you said something, but I understand if you don't. Because I wouldn't want to be nowhere near this shit. But now that we here, hey, bro, you're an interesting dude. What made you do that? What gave you the confidence to do that?
What's for sure is that he was found guilty. He may appeal, but it's unlikely that if he appeals, it will overturn all the charges, so we will see. And as a matter of fact, in many cases, when people appeal a decision and they lose the appeal, then the sentencing, gets worse, so, oh man.
Life. And then, hey, man, you know what, man, Jess? All I can say, Eligio, work out, do your push-ups, do your burpees, do all your things that you gonna need. Like, hey, bro, all that goofy shit, nobody, all that, none of that's about to work. You're about to be in the system, and you're about to get completely remixed, bro. And you didn't have no power. You ain't got no money. You got them little supporters. Your supporters is broke. That's just the reality of it. So he's gone. He's done.
Yeah, he's gone. It's basically a done deal, when it comes to freedom. Now it's gonna be a life on the lock. Now, Passport R is definitely not happy at all. But hey, he's obviously a supporter of him. So but
What was that? Who was up here earlier?
No, he did not kind of get on the panel, but he
Okay, he
got
didn't come up.
railroad earlier.
He got
was like,
railroad. Hey, come up here, bro. I'll talk to you. I'm a
I
respectful
don't I don't
dude.
think he will. But he's free
Nah,
to.
man, come up
Everybody's
here.
free to
Let's
come on the
talk.
panel. The link is there. Anybody want to get on the panel, you just have to use a webcam. That's all. Otherwise, just
He
keep
got
on, use
he
the
got
chat.
railroaded, huh?
I wonder if
So
Frankie's gonna, raise money for, for, because they like to raise money. Somebody died in Georgia, and they presented somebody as the girl's father, So Angela wrote that a nature boy was teaching other young men how to behave abusive towards women. Well, now they can see the result.
Man, I want to chop it up with Passport. I like what you mean, or what you trolling? What you mean he got railroaded? Because you know what? I know about that stuff. I actually know what that feels like. So I'm trying to figure out like railroaded what they misappropriated information, like they lied on him. You know what happened to he got an attorney that's working with the prosecutor, like railroaded how. My thing is this: all this mainly stems from something we know happened, bro. Where he fucked up. First of all, he fucked up long before this, but I'm talking about this specifically. Where he messed up, you recorded it, bro. Then you put it up on some revenge porn shit. First of all, you could get a lot of time secretly recording somebody doing a sexual act. That's the first thing.
Yeah, hold on, Dev Duster. Thank you for
I
coming
got
back.
it.
Yeah, feel free to true royal family, and thank you for using the webcam. Feel free to speak.
Right now on 11 Alive, they are talking to the victims that about they're getting ready to sentence him, and they're talking to the victims right now, and they're also showing Nature Boy on camera. That's why I was trying to hurry up and get back and everything.
Oh,
so my camera wasn't working.
I'm sorry,
on
which
11
channel
Alive.
did you say what?
11 Alive.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. That's
and
the one
they're
I
talking
saw
to the
earlier, yes.
victims right now.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna put that up. So hold on. Thank you for telling me that. But you sure they will sentence him now?
Yes.
I've been on sentencing now.
Yes, I've been on this all day. So the victims are giving the impact. The victims are giving the impact statements right now. They're talking to Velvet right now.
Yeah, but I don't see no live on 11A live.
Let me send the link.
Yes, yes, please, in the back chat, please, because I'm on the panel. But
let me do what I do.
Yes, Justin Munson, if you don't mind using the webcam, I spoke to you on VB's panel, but here I just required people to use the webcam. So whenever you're ready, feel free. I'm surprised that they will sentence him, now. But I am on and I can show to the people that I am on that hold on, I don't. Oh yeah, okay. Thank you. Yes, yeah. Thank you, Justin. Now this is the channel 11A live, and you can see when I go to live, The latest one was about Fannie Willis. And when I go to home, because sometimes people they play what did they call it again? The premiere video. So they don't show in live, but they show on the homepage. But we have this one: verdict reached in alleged court leader Nature Boy. It's only 30 seconds long, but
don't worry about it. I just found it.
Yeah,
I got it.
okay, okay, thank you.
And I'm looking at Nature Boy right now.
Okay, so feel free to share the link whenever you're ready. Thank you for
just
that.
give me just a second. Let me slow down.
Yes, of course,
And I'm gonna put that in your link because he's goofing
you know,
around.
You know the private chat, right? Do you? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
So,
I just put it in there so you can look at it.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna put it. Thank you very much. It's appreciated.
Yeah.
There it is. So I'm gonna put the volume.
See there, you see him?
Yes.
What meant that meant catering to his every need, whether that be helping him get dressed every morning, brushing his teeth, giving him massages, cooking his meals, doing sexual favors while he recorded video, and sending him nude photos of myself. What God wanted, we were required to give, no matter what, and we had to give it with a smile, like we enjoyed it. I and so many other women there had no choice but to give up our own right to make decisions and disregard our authentic thoughts and feelings because he said that we didn't have our own mind and needed to replace our thoughts with his. There were consequences if we didn't listen and follow his instruction exactly. At first, we were just instructed to do squats and push-ups, then it escalated to being isolated in the closet for days at a time and standing in the corner naked for at least 3 hours. And eventually he would introduce
what is going on here, Greg? With this guy.
The victims are given impact statements.
Understands the gravity of what's about to happen. He needs to focus.
And he's laughing. He thinks this is funny.
Receptively recruited. We trusted him and thought he had our best interests, and he knew this. No one volunteered to be taken advantage of emotionally, financially, physically, spiritually, or psychologically. I would have never joined Heart Nation in 2017 if I knew that in 2020 Bishop would order other women to beat me until I curled up in a fetal position in order to surrender. I would have never joined in 2017 if I knew that I would be forced to watch as he beat a woman in front of all of us on the 4th of July of 2020 during a picnic in the park. I would have never joined if I knew that he would eventually separate other men from the women so that he could force every woman to have sex with him, whether they wanted to or not. Or if I would have known we would be ordered to slap and jump others. Or if I knew that he would have the final say on every aspect of our lives, from food to clothes to where we could go or sleep, or if we could take a walk, or if we could leave the group, we would need permission. And that we wouldn't be able to go anywhere by ourselves. I never would have joined if I knew that. I would live in fear every day, not knowing who he would hurt that day, who he would order us to hurt, or if I would be hurt that day. All it took was for someone to have what he would call an attitude, or for them to slightly resist him. He often responded to any resistance from the women with whipping them with a leather belt over and over while he laughed and made the rest of us watch. He would make us lay flat on our stomachs while he walked around in a rage, taunting us, degrading us, kicking us, and stomping on us, beating us into submission. He said we were his property and that he could do anything he wanted to us. No one was coming to save us in this foreign country. He said no one cared about Black girls like us, not in America or anywhere else. If we told anyone, we would be disloyal.
Let me just say to anybody that just appeared or came now, he was found guilty on all charges. Now it's the victims talking. He may be sentenced today. Usually it's not the same day, but maybe they do it differently over there in Atlanta. So we're hearing the victims speaking. So I'll go back on mute.
So I push myself every day to stay on my best behavior in order to survive because my son needed a mother and I didn't want to die. There always needs to be another excuse to why we needed the abuse that he called discipline.
The laughing is disturbing.
He told us that we were doing it to ourselves. And
yes, it is.
He made sure that we would never think to do that again. And he made an example out of us. Sometimes he would remind us all of the good times and spent together, all the beautiful places we saw, like the waterfalls in Mexico and the beaches in Puerto Rico, all of the music we made and the celebrations and dances we had. He often guilt tripped us, even while he's in jail, he's trying to intimidate us. For years, he gaslit us into thinking maybe he wasn't that bad. Maybe this wasn't so bad. It took months for me to stop blaming myself for the abuse and the sexual assault.
He wants a response from them people. They're not going to respond to him.
I was able to finally stop protecting my abuser and speak up about what happened to me and so many others.
They're going to do their job.
Even young children were involved as well, and not everyone made it out safely and alive. I never willingly joined a destructive sex cult, but in the end, I learned that.
Smiling on the outside and crying on the inside.
I, like so many others, want to make a positive impact in the world, not to be hurt, abused, and used, exploited by a video bishop. So many people have prayed for this day where justice is finally being served. And I thank everyone who heard us and who saw us and who fought for our freedom.
So we don't know how much time he got yet. We don't know. He may be sentenced today, but he was found guilty on all charges.
Just to let you know, because I had heard the first phase of it, they're going to give the sentence today. They're allowing the victims to give their impact statements, each one, and that takes a while and stuff. So we're just going through the whole process. I've never seen it like this. Usually they say you're guilty and then you come back a few weeks or months later. This is different. They moving fast on him.
Yeah, they tired of playing with these motherfuckers, man.
He was not out there to, and some of us seen it. He was not even man enough to even be out there to take the guilty. He wanted to keep tripping off of the judge had COVID. That was a bunch of crap, because he knew what they was gonna say.
Sure, yes.
Sister, do you have a channel? Because if you have a channel, I wouldn't mind sharing it. Because you really.
I've been around for 7 years.
Yeah. Do you want to put the channel in the private chat? So I'm going to share it.
I'm subscribed to you. I've been following you for a long time.
Yeah, I haven't been putting up any videos for a while because I have been really sick.
Yeah, no, it's okay. If you want me to share it, just put it in private chat so I can share it in the chat. Yes.
Okay, no problem. I'll get my link.
From a spiritual standpoint, I've literally had to get myself comforted so that I can understand what the Bible is, who God is, who Jesus is to me. I really had to
Those guards are not trying to listen to what he's talking about.
Yeah, he's trying to find somebody to feed into a psychosis.
Which is the way he should be. And I think if he was actually in the courtroom with his attorney, I'm sure his attorney would have told him at least to try to maintain.
I'm actually streaming a live stream, so the people who are live streaming it, they are commenting as well. So that's the voice that you were hearing. So I'm gonna, play again.
Stoic face and focus on the seriousness of what he's facing.
Hold on, G. Hold on 1 second.
It's the uphill battle every day.
Yeah, and he's sitting with those antics. He just don't get it.
Eligio, Bishop.
I never understood people like that.
And my child, on multiple occasions.
So I'm gonna put the link in your private chat.
Yes, feel free.
So every day I wake up, especially online social media.
Thank you for allowing me on your channel.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for telling us about this. I'm gonna share the sister's link. So, sister's channel is called True Royal Family.
Yeah, and they call me True Royal.
Okay, True Royal. So here in the chat.
Let's try to hear what they're saying.
Yes, you're right.
They know the humiliation. Everybody saw the revenge porn they put out of me and Kendra and myself. This has been public, and it literally, I wouldn't even say destroy our lives, but at times it has literally felt like he was trying to destroy our lives, even through our own families. And what breaks my heart the most, and that I have to be strong for and continue to be strong for, is the children. because the children were severely impacted by all of this. They will never know their fathers. Not only that, the men that are the fathers of our child, we now have to look at them and see them as another niche boy because, or Eligio Bishop, because they all carry some of the same behaviors. Courtney Townsend is the father of my now child, and he has some of the same characteristics as Eligio Bishop, and I have to now protect my family, my child, his child from himself. And these men around us, we don't know if we can trust them. I don't know if I can trust them. I can't trust the fathers of my children. And knowing that my child is going to have to grow up with me and I'm going to have to explain to my child how, when, where, why, that is a lot as a responsibility. And I'm glad that the verdict has come back to what it is for it, what it's worth, because our lives will never be the same. My life will never be the same. My daughter's life will never be the same. My son's life will never be the same. I have to go file protection orders and do all of these things to make sure that I'm protected as a woman and child. That's not okay. You're targeting women and children at this point. And so the young men who follow Nature Boy, who follow Eligio Bishop, this is what happens to you when you harm people that's innocent. And I want to thank Kendra, and I want to tell you that I've always thought you was a beautiful young woman, and so I have you, Brianna, and so have I everybody else. It was the environment that kept me away because I said no. And I was being physically abused for it every single day. And the only reasons why I came back to combination so many times was because I was under the impression that we were gonna make it work for Eliana, our daughter, because that's what it was about. And it was about Solar Shah that he had with Janae, and with Zoka. And it was about your child, Kendra, that you had with Aaron. And it was about everybody's child, everybody's children should have been protected. And everybody should have been protected. And I'm just grateful for everybody who continues to support us and fought on our behalf to bring all of this to the light, which I'm really not surprised because Nature Boy and Eligio Bishop have already put everything out for everybody to see. And so I thank everybody again. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Well, do you have any questions? If you would unmute, and are you driving?
I am driving right now.
Would you be able to find somewhere to pull over?
Yes, 1 second.
Okay, let's move on.
Sorry.
That's okay. We'll move on to one of the other folks.
And then my baby's crying.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mute you until you're, so you find somewhere to park, okay? And we'll call on somebody else. All right.
I can have 30 seconds, Your Honor,
Yeah.
to see
Okay.
if I have any other
Sure.
witnesses.
Okay. Do you want to, you can stand at the podium if you prefer. Would you rather? All right, just raise your right hand.
Raise your right hand.
Right. Okay, that's okay.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you present to the court to be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your name for the court, please.
Janine Moore.
Have you prepared a statement you want to read to the judge before she can share her sentence?
Yes.
You can go ahead.
First, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to the judge and to the court for giving me and many other victims a chance to be heard after finding our own voice. Thank you to God, the real living God that lives within us all. You've made this possible, and your presence is noticed in all of this. And even to Mr. Booker for doing your best, for trying at least to give him a fair trial. But we all know Mr. Bishop is not fair. Mr. Bishop, Babaji, has been a monster to us all. and we try to see the best in him. He has tortured all of our souls and said he would send us to the abyss if we ever defied him. He made us believe that he was Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. And for that, that alone is punishable. I hope this opens his eyes. And I pray that the people who are there with him are set free themselves, so they can stop living in the illusion that this man has placed on our minds. When I first came across carbonation, I thought I had a family. And I thought I could live free and fulfill our mission with the people that was appointed to be the gods and goddesses on earth. But it was torture for me. I cried at night and trembled that day. Eligio, you made us to be liars when we lived in truth, wanted to live in truth. The harassment was just dreadful for me, especially around my pregnancy. You demolished Eligio. You demolished our connection with God just so you can be God. And you haunted our dreams like the monster you are. You damaged us all. You confused us all. You made love something we should be fearing. And abuse was looked as normal for us, and it was not supposed to be. The very people you promised to help, you tarnished and you destroyed us. You truly didn't care about us, Eligio. To me and many others, he was a guy judge in court.
What is going on with this dude?
He was a friend. And for us, the members of congregation, he was a prophet. And he was supposed to be good for change, but he turned into a whole nasty demon who had sex with us whenever he pleased, even if we didn't want to. Made us ignore the children around just so he could get more attention. That wasn't fair to the mothers. Eligio, you have atoning to do. You were our guy, but now you're a prisoner, like you prisoned us. Now you're a prisoner, like you imprisoned us. And I even now pray that God has mercy on your soul. God will have mercy, I hope, for you. And this time there's no escaping, no running, no hiding. Face yourself. And sit there until you understand why you're there before you go off teaching anything to anyone. No Leroy, no Dr. Bishop, not even 3 God or Nature Boy will be there to save you. It's only you and God, the real God. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Any questions?
No,
Okay. All right. Any other witnesses who want to be heard on the stage?
Yes, it looks like Ms. Jacobs has situated herself in a place
Ah,
that is
yes,
not
okay, yes,
inevitable.
all right. All right, you can unmute. There you go. No, you're still muted, try it again.
Okay.
I think I messed it up, all right. One more time. Did it let you do it? There you go. Okay, thank you.
Okay, sorry, I'm trying to get my baby situated.
No, you're fine, you're fine. All right, go ahead and swear in, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Brianna, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the evidence you'll give to the court today will be the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can put your hand down and introduce yourself again for the record, please.
Brianna Jacobs.
What do you want to tell Judge Frederick if she considers an appropriate sentence for Mr. Bishop?
I feel like the ones before me said most of, like, they really did a good job explaining themselves and what we went through while being in this situation. On my behalf, I just want to say thank you to the judge, and I'm glad that we're finally getting justice after, for myself, 7 years of being involved with this person that we did view as our messiah at the time. It's years that we'll never get back. And sorry. I just pray that throughout this whole situation, that the ones that are still involved in the situation will regain their minds back. That's who I pray for the most right now. Because I understand where they are, and I hope this is the opportunity for them to break free from the spell that they're under. And even for myself, it took a while to realize why I even involved myself in a situation like this, and what in me attracted these scenarios, and why I even viewed him as a god at one point in my life. But one thing that I did get from the situation is I found the true God. And I feel like that's the best thing that I got from the situation. But yeah, I feel like I really don't have much to say. I'm just glad that justice is being served for all of us, and yeah.
Thank you. Any questions?
No, I'm told that Mr. Dixon wanted to say something. He's not a victim or a 413 victim. He's a victim in the traditional sense of that word, though he was not a named victim. I don't know. I was told it was brief. Is the court willing to listen to him?
Okay, that's fine.
Aaron, can you turn your camera on?
I'm actually trying to figure out how to turn my video on. Okay, thank you.
I had to click a button that said to ask you to start your video, so, okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna be.
Hold on one second, let him start.
Oh, yeah.
Let him start your video.
Yeah, Mr. Dixon, did you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the evidence you'll give to the court today will be the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, you can put your hand down and introduce yourself, please.
Yes, sir, my name is Aaron Dixon. I'm just gonna be brief. I don't think that anybody in the world has led a perfect life, a life that doesn't have mistakes, a life that doesn't have shortcomings. But the difference, the distinct difference about Mr. Bishop is that even in this moment, as he sits in a very serious position, he's in disbelief as if he's done nothing wrong. And the danger behind that is that in order to change your behavior, you have to first acknowledge that a change needs to be made. Mr. Bishop has an inability to see his own shortcomings, which means he will never change, which means he should never be in the vicinity of a normal functioning human being. I personally believe that all mistakes are forgivable if a person has the courage to admit that they even made a mistake. And I will say, Judge, I've met some unique people in my life, but this is the very first time that I believe that I've ever met a psychopath in real time. And that's all I got to say.
Thank you.
That's all the state has by way of evidence. We do have argument at the appropriate time, but we would reserve that.
All right, and.
Am I allowed to speak at all?
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Did you have any witnesses that wanted to speak, Mr. Booker?
My witnesses have been banned from the courthouse.
Okay, they're the ones who acted out, okay.
I don't know that they acted out.
Well, I would instruct the deputies for all of those witnesses who acted out on the stand and the folks that acted out in the gallery where, once they did that, they were no longer welcome in the courtroom.
There are some people who were banned who didn't act out there.
Okay, well, I'll be happy to hear from them if,
They're not here, so we'll just. Sounds like Mr. Bishop's attorney is trying to get some of the individuals who were in the courtroom earlier, who are supporters.
I did not realize, I'm sorry.
That's okay. All right, you can go ahead and unmute, please. Raise your right hand and we'll swear you in.
Sir, do you swear or affirm the evidence of you to the court today will be the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down and introduce yourself, please.
My name is Courtney Townsend, and yes, I have been on a journey with everyone who has spoke, and I have been very close to Mr. Bishop during this entire journey. And thank everybody for sharing what you shared, and thank you, Aaron, for saying what you said as well, bringing that clarity and even offering some medicine to the table for him to hold on to while he's in there. And for me, I have to realize that everybody is on a spiritual journey. Not everybody really acknowledges it, how we're all there. I didn't realize that my purpose and being myself was all that I needed. I felt like I was missing pieces. I was missing my father. And I was so gung-ho on changing the world, I was willing to change myself to the detriment of me. I found all of my gifts and all of my affinities to be the very things that were shut down and arrested while I was at Courtroom Nation. All of my skills and gifts and abilities that could have me in a whole other position in my life were the very things being suppressed while I offered my daily vital energy to Eligio Bishop, because I believed that he believed in empowering people truly. And instead of taking us to sovereignty, he ended up playing as what I would consider to be an antichrist. Anything that takes you away from your connection to the divine for yourself. However religion you found it, whatever monstrous practices or meditations you use, that's your own. And I hope that everybody can align to their purposes. Everybody can get on track with their lives. A lot of people don't realize what we have to do to recover from giving away everything, cutting off all of our family members, and even ourselves, losing ourselves psychologically for so many years, what it takes to recover from that. So I commend the strength of everybody who stood up against Mr. Bishop, and he knows everything. There's nothing I need to say to him. He knows what he's done, and unfortunately, he's gotten away with too much. So I've always wanted to heal my generational curses in my family, not having my father around as much as I wanted to. And I wanted to help change that in the world. We ended up perpetuating generational curses, creating more situations for the children to have to recover from due to our current situations now. But I know there's a lot of power in the tongue, and I believe in the best for everybody. I believe that everybody is going to find their way, find their light, however that looks. And I'm proud of you all. You are all very strong. Ugly Mr. Bishop, your light is in the dark. And you already know your chart. Do your work, bro. Nobody's exempt. I'm not exempt, you're not exempt, nobody here is. Love wins, and you had me thinking that love was an L, like a loss. Love was something to do away with. It was a weakness. And it wasn't, bro. It wasn't. It's the only thing that's kept me here standing strong to this day. So regardless of how people view me to this day from what we've done, I'm on a road to my own soul redemption, and I'm willing to do the work that it takes for me to become the best version of myself, so that one day I can be the man for my children that I know I'm supposed to be, not the man that you were, and not trying to become a man like you, but want to be a man like me. And thank you for everything.
Thank you. And is all of the witnesses and evidence at the statement?
All right. And did your client want to be heard?
I have no idea.
All right. All right, Mr. Bishop. Okay, Mr. Bishop, do you want to be heard? Come on up to if you do, come on up to the podium. And we'll swear you in.
Raise your right hand.
Do you swear to testify about the truth?
For sure. At all times.
All right, what is it you'd like me to consider?
I just want to say something to all of them.
Well,
I just want to say.
Just direct it to me, please, not to.
I'll direct it to you. I'll direct it to you.
Okay.
Are you happy? Are you happy?
I'm not answering any questions of yours, Mr.
I forgive you. I forgive you, and I still love you. I forgive you, and I still love you. I got nothing in my heart. I'm not mad at you. I'm not upset with you. I forgive you. I want you to know I still love you and forgive you. And kiss my baby girl and let her know I love her. And I love y'all. I would never, I promise you, you know how I am. In my heart, you know how I am. I still love you. I still fuck with you. I still love you.
All right.
I
got that.
And no hate.
Okay.
No hate.
Is there anything else?
My heart light as a feather. I promise you, I love you and I'm still here. I ain't missed one lick. I see what y'all doing, and I want you to know I forgive you. And I see y'all in the end.
All right. Thank you.
I love you. I love you.
All right. I just muted the courtroom. We're done with that. All right.
Wow.
What is the recommendation from the state?
Just a brief argument,
yes,
if I
sure.
may.
Of course.
I think all of this arises out of obviously an environment where women and the four women that have been before the court, as well as others who have not, were stripped by this defendant of their autonomy, stripped of their strength. And I think last week, those young women took that back in pretty epic fashion. You watched the defendant in the last 25, 30 minutes. His antics, the gesturing, the laughing in court as these young women are telling their story to Your Honor again. He does not believe he did anything wrong. And he will, for the rest of his life, be a danger to this community and a danger to any women he encounters in this community. Because we're asking for, the state is asking for a sentence on the rape charge of life without the possibility of parole. The other counts to run concurrent.
What are the maximum sentences on the other counts?
False imprisonment carries a maximum sentence of 10 years. Okay. Count 3, the state's position is that it is a misdemeanor. The first revenge porn. Counts 4 and 5, the second and third revenge porn counts. State's position is that each of those maximum sentence is 5 years in custody.
All right. Any other additional argument? Okay. Mr. Butler.
Thank you. It's an unusual position I find myself. I'm in the courtroom, my client's not. The witnesses that he would have had here, they were not here because they were banned from the courthouse.
So the only.
Come on, Judge.
Let me make the record clear. The only folks that I instructed the sheriff's department to ban were the folks that, acted out on the stand or acted out in the gallery. Those were my instructions.
Yes, Your Honor.
There have been threats, there have been all sorts of things being made to court staff, to court employees, to everybody throughout this process. So
Yes, ma'am.
in the interest of maintaining decorum and as much security as we can, that was my decision. And also, before you go forward, I forgot to put one thing on the record.
Okay.
I asked Mr. Bishop earlier if he wanted to return to the courtroom this afternoon, and he initially said yes. And I said, all right, we'll make arrangements for you to do that while the jury, or after the jury rewatched and re-listened to the evidence they requested to see. And then he wanted to talk to you, and I understand you called him and you came back in and you told me that he changed his mind and did not want to come back.
That is correct, Judge.
Okay.
I did speak to him, and the jury went back out and continued to deliberate, and he maintained his
Okay.
stay.
That's fine. Because it was on the record that he wanted to come and he's still in the jail courtroom, so that's why I wanted to clear that up. All right.
Yes, sir.
Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
No worries. Portia Wayne and Caleb Butler, they were the only two witnesses. I don't know what happened with them, and they're not in the courthouse. But to Ms. Marquez, to Kendra, to Brianna, and to Janae, as a defense attorney, my job and my obligation is to zealously defend my client. I've watched a lot of hurt between all four of them. There's only one true God, and it's not Eligio Bishop, and he knows that. And I'm sorry with everything these folks have had to go through in this case. I do think Mr. Bishop, though Judge, is redeemable. I do not think a life without parole sentence is appropriate. I think life obviously is 30 years, as what it currently is before he be eligible for parole. I would ask the court to give him the opportunity to get parole in the future and let the parole board determine whether or not he is redeemable. Obviously, this has been a very challenging trial. It's been a lot of emotion on all ends. I've seen people in very difficult positions that I had to cross-examine. But in a nutshell, Judge, I'm asking the court to sentence him to a life with the possibility of parole sentence, or if you're not willing to do just life, maybe do a life with consecutive time, but not do it without parole, that the parole board determine in 30 years whether or not he is redeemable or not. I will state that he has no prior felony convictions that I'm aware of. He's never been convicted of anything. He did own a barbershop here in Atlanta, as he had stated before he left on his journey. Mr. Bishop, his parents, as I understand, both of them he didn't have parents. He was raised in New York. And at a very young age, I think both his parents either abandoned him or were killed. And so he doesn't have much in the way of family or in the way of history. There's been a lot of things that have happened to him, in my opinion, that put him in the position that he's in right now. But I would ask the court for whatever discretion the court is willing to give for purposes of his sentence.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. I would have been inclined to exercise some discretion had Mr. Bishop shown any remorse, guilt, or regret throughout this process. And I saw nothing during the trial but for him laughing and cutting up and looking shocked and surprised at all of the testimony. Mr. Bishop, you're a master manipulator and probably the classic definition of a narcissist that I've ever seen. You took advantage of these folks who were essentially lost souls, looking for some guidance, looking for some connection, or looking for some comfort. And you were able to fill a void for them for some reason. but in the process, you completely took advantage of them and have caused potentially, I hope not, but potentially irreparable harm. I hope that all of the victims will be able at some point in time to recover from this and to find some type of peace in their lives. And maybe the verdict will help in that regard. But I hope you all are able to move on at some point and find some peace, whatever that is for you. So with that, I am going to follow the recommendation of the state in this case. On the rape, he'll be sentenced to life without the possibility of parole, followed by 10 years consecutive for the false imprisonment.
Wow.
And on the internet porn, count 3, 12 months to serve, concurrent to the false imprisonment. The internet porn, I'll run concurrent to the false imprisonment. Internet 5 years, so it's 12 months on count 3, 5 years on count 4, and 5 years on count 5. All of that will run concurrent to the false imprisonment, but the false imprisonment is consecutive, so it's life without parole
plus 10
years.
So he has to.
And hopefully he will never be able to take advantage of anybody else again.
Be sure to go over his post-conviction rights with him as well.
Yes.
Judge, before, I know there were certain conditions, obviously, with the way the law currently exists in the court sentence, the defendant will not be out. Just in case the law changes in the future, we would ask that the conditions of no contact with victims and that the defendant may not profit financially in any way off of the facts that led to this case.
All right, Mr. Bishop, you're to have absolutely no contact, direct or indirect. That means sending any of your followers to contact them, getting any messages to them, no posting, no internet posting about them, no contact, direct or indirect, no phone calls, emails, no nothing, no visits to their homes, nothing, 0. They don't exist anymore. And you are not to profit in any fashion from the crimes that you have committed. So no book deals for you, no movie rights, nothing. And also with respect to your appellate rights, let's see, you have 30 days, I believe, from today to file a motion for a new trial.
That's correct, Judge, and I'll get him a boilerplate motion for a new trial file once the sentence is.
Okay. And
He has 30 days from the date of his sentencing, which is today, to file a notice of appeal or a motion for a new trial to preserve his direct appeal rights. He also has 4 years from the time that his conviction becomes final to apply for a petition for a writ of habeas corpus. Generally, a conviction is final when all direct appeal rights have expired.
And he has 1 year on.
Right. That's right, the 1 count. All right. Anything else?
Judge, on his old indictment, 22 CR 2234, the state has pushed through a null pros order, so that is cleaned up, and that was sent earlier this afternoon. I also sent Ms. Jones with your office a copy of his defense counsel, but a motion and order to seal the identity of the jurors, given the publicity and security threats involved in this case. I just asked that the court consider and grant that motion. There is an order that is also included in that.
Okay. What information, and can you guys approach about that? I don't want to.
Okay, well, we got the main situation, so feel free, everybody. I'm gonna put the background music back on. Feel free.
Oh my goodness.
Go ahead, the True Royal family. Feel free.
I had a question to ask. Because I don't know how the prison system works. So can he still make phone calls from jail? Can somebody answer that for me?
Yeah, he can make phone calls still.
Because when he make those phone calls, he always has somebody to record him. You know he gonna do that. Because so far, since the trial, he done made over 80 calls. Did anybody know about that?
Yeah, they were saying that they believe that he was talking to the witnesses about the proceedings and how what was going on in
Yeah,
court.
because I heard the
Um,
calls. I heard the calls because I dig. Since I'm a blogger, most bloggers we'll dig till we can't dig no more, and everything. This is astounding, and I don't know if there's any other females on here. So I'm not gonna talk long, but I just wanted to give my female perspective. um Females, the way we are raised, we have a tendency to be raised to please, and we have a tendency to think if we cooperate in a situation that we will get out of a situation. So I want y'all women to listen to something. Gabrielle Union was raped. She used to work for Payless Shoe Store in Northern California, and I'm from Northern California. And so the rapist isolated her. And so usually what a female think, well, if I just cooperate with the situation, that being agreeable and cooperating, that I'll get out of it. You don't cooperate with nothing. You fight for dear life. You do the opposite. You do the opposite. I see people making these comments. See, this shit ain't happening to your family members and stuff. And you say all this type of stuff, but when it happened to the females in your family, if it happened to your daughters, it happened to your mamas or any females in your family, then you'll say something else. See, it ain't impacting your immediate situation. Remember to do the opposite. Never holler for help. Holler fire. All right? So thank you, my king. You're not a cult. This is how I greet black men and I greet black women, my queens. This is just what I do on my channel and everything. So I'm glad that I was able to get this to the royal family so we could all share it together. It's an honor to do this. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you, sister.
Mm-hmm.
Feel free. I was away from my desk, but I heard everything that the sister said. I saw some comments in the chat that were a bit strange because I agree that if it was one of your family members, I don't think you will have the same stance. But everybody can feel free. You have the link to get on the panel. As a matter of fact, let me just feel free if anybody want to get on the panel. Feel free.
oh, what was the comment exactly? What was the comment?
I'd rather just not go back into it because there was a few actually. But hold on, I got 9 minutes before class. What's the sentence? David, life without parole plus 10 years. So, if anybody want to get on the panel, feel free. And thanks to V Bennett, thanks to Royal Family, thanks to Mrs. Ty Lead, and everybody else, who participated. Thank you to everybody else on the panel. We have the brother Tar, we have Justin. I spoke to Justin earlier when he was on VB's live stream. Justin Munson. Thank you all, brothers and sisters. It's about facts. It's about truth. Oh, Young Hero, feel free, brother.
Yeah, what's going on, man? This that's Nafude. I ain't
Yeah,
seen him.
Chupi, what's going on, Hero?
I ain't seen you in a minute, my boy. Where you been?
Oh man, I've been working on something big. I'm gonna let y'all know in a little bit. Shaka know what's going on. Him and Bennett.
Oh,
It's a little
chill,
something I've
chill,
been
chill,
working on.
chill.
So I've been putting my
Yeah,
energy there. But you're
yeah,
gonna
man.
find out in a couple of weeks or so, and then that's what was popping. But I'm glad. I'm
Well,
happy.
Well, you know me, Napo. I'm mutual on all grounds. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I don't have no fight in it other than righteousness. So
right.
that's like how I feel about the whole situation, man. Like, to be honest, bro, I'm gonna tell you one thing, Shaka. I be having mixed feelings about everything when it comes to life and situations and human beings, and everybody has their agenda. And that's what
Mhm,
I noticed. At the end of the day, bro, no matter how people feel, everybody want to give their opinion. You can't tell another man or another woman how to feel. They might grow up different than you, have different perspective than you. They might been in jail before, they might be raped before, they might have killed before. Nobody
mhm.
don't know people's secrets. You see what I'm saying? So when I speak on stuff, bro, I like to speak based on logic, common sense with no emotions. I don't know Nature Boy from nowhere.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna hate Nature Boy more just because he was on Saneta platform, or just because some people used to look at him as a god, because that's what they used to do. That's why he had the power he had. Now, I ain't saying I like the guy. I ain't saying the guy ain't a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying, Napu? But listen, I was listening to y'all earlier. I went on my phone and look on YouTube to see about raping and all of that in the last year, the last 2 years alone. You see what I'm saying? There are there are many white men that rape women as well. Who making all that noise in the background? But I just look at shit like this, bro. Just have the same energy for everything. Don't be too into it, because
Hold on, you
white.
hero. Please let me just say this, and then you can continue. Now, there are some other people who committed rape and they got
Mhm.
less prison sentence.
Thank you for saying that.
But hold on. But he was not charged with rape alone. There were several charges. There were many
Come on,
victims. You
bro.
see, but keep going. This
Come
is a
on.
fact.
Okay.
It
Hold
wasn't
on.
several victims though. So this was based on one victim. The reason
You
why he got all that time is because he took it to court. So
wait,
so
whoa. So he got
when you
more
when
time because he took it
y-
to cut?
yeah, when you go to trial, you gamble. So if you
Yeah.
go to trial, you're going to get
Hmm.
more time than if you were to plead
So
guilty.
you know how much time he was looking if he plead guilty?
So initially, from what he said, and I think it might be true
Hmm.
that they had offered him a plea to the lesser charges of revenge porn, the distributing of illicit videos.
Hmm.
That was 10 years. So
What?
he would have gotten 10 years if he took that plea initially.
Yeah, he's stupid for
Uh,
that.
as time went on, though, to be real, I really like, and I was wrong, and I'm glad I was wrong.
Hmm.
But they came back at him again with another plea deal of 30 years, um, and that was to cop a plea to the rape charge, but not the false imprisonment.
All
This was
right.
right before the trial started.
Right.
He turned that down, and then they went to trial, and he lost.
Well, yeah, that's his problem, because if you have, I mean, I don't know all the evidence. I didn't see the video. You know what I'm saying? It's only so much I know as far as the case go. You see what I'm saying? The jurors know more, the judge know more, he know more, the woman that accused him know more. So I can only make my observation based on what I know and what I see. You see what I'm saying? But I just feel like, bro, it just keep the same energy. I don't like to see people go too hard, get too emotional about things, because there are many men that are being charged for rape yearly wrong, and nobody don't speak on them. It's only when people have a certain agenda against a certain person that they all up on YouTube. They making as it like this is their life. This is their life, and they care about it that much. No, you don't. Because there are
You
many
know,
people. Hold on, bro. Let me finish speak, bro. Because you
yes.
did that earlier, Shaka. You were talking about, I didn't even listen to everything. I was with my lady. I got my life to live. But some about Ralph, and when people are wrong, when people are this, they just don't know how. You do the same thing, Shaka. You do the same thing. When I'm talking to you, You see, and I'm trying to make a point. You blow me off and try to act. That's your way of doing it. That's well, if that's the case, everybody have their way of doing it. That's all I'm trying to say. Ain't no hard feelings, ain't no, you know what I'm saying? All I'm saying, bro, just the way we feel about Nature Boy, every time we see these stories, if we want to cover these stories, we gotta cover it all across the board. I was just on YouTube and I saw like 3 different white men that even raping men. I saw another one with a black man that was exonerated for falsely being accused of rape. You see what I'm saying? That's the only point I'm trying to make, Shaka. It's all love. But I'm just saying, just don't be emotional about shit, especially when it comes to black men. White men always get lesser charges for these same crimes. Like I'm gonna repeat myself. Everybody could be in their feelings, say what they want about young Heru. Why he acting? Nigga, I don't give a fuck. Really, you don't know me. You can't do nothing to me. You don't help me pay my bills. None of that. You see, I'm just looking at the case for what it is. These people, everybody was in cahoots. Everybody was in the house. Everybody was having a spiritual moment. Everybody was having sex with yada yada. So, just like the lady said, you don't stay in that and think it's gonna get better. You don't do that. If you see something is wrong, you say something is wrong, you get people to see something is wrong. If they don't want to come and go with you, then you get the hell out of there. You take your child, you get the hell out of there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I'm saying, bro. When it was all fine and dandy, it was all fine and dandy. Everybody was having fun. Everybody acting like Nature Boy, some kind of god, and the men them with no backbone, they bow into him with all kind of finger signs. I saw it. I saw what was going on. So for now, for everybody to try to jump on him and make it seem like, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I think the guy is a piece of shit. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying these people take a part in everything that was going on until shit hit the fan. That's all I'm saying, bro. That, you know what I mean? But go ahead. I ain't want to talk too long. You know, I just feel like one more thing. All I gotta say is I think the guy is wrong. He deserves time. He need to learn his lesson. He need to take a look in the mirror because he keep trying to blame people for everything that's going on, but he the one that created it. Sorry, he the one that create everything. So first he need to blame himself. But I just feel like everybody in the circle, they were all in cahoots. They think they some gods too, and goddess too. That's why they end up where they end up. You know what I'm saying? And
well, hey, Ru.
One more thing, hold on, bro. Do not jump on me, V Bennett, because I could care less if you think I said something wrong. This is my my feeling. Okay, good. The only thing I'm saying is, bro, they when black men do the same crime that certain white men do, they get 3 times the charge. That's all I'm saying. A lot of white men do rape within 10 to 15 years, they out of jail. They don't get no life. But go ahead, y'all take it away.
Right, but he had the opportunity for 10 years, and then on top of it, the other people in the house, they testified against him pretty much. So I mean, you know, there it is. I mean, but I hear you. You know, there's a lot to be examined.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that, V Bennett. But all I'm saying is, bro, when all that shit was going on, all of them was there taking part in it. All of them are guilty for the bullshit that went on. There's no way you got 8 women over here, 8 men over here, and you let one man tell you what to do. Unless you stuck on stupid.
Young Hero, you see, when you started speaking, I thought you were talking about us when you say keep the same energy. But after a while,
no, I ain't saying that.
Yeah, no, but I'm just trying to say. Now, yes, a lot of time, black people get harsher sentences, longer sentences. It is right. But we're talking about somebody who was accused of rape. He was found guilty of rape, you see. And the other white people who committed rape and got less time, they are not portrayed as leaders. You see, that guy was portrayed as a leader, as part of a conscious community.
What that have to do with anything?
Well,
what
all
that
I'm
have to do
saying
with
is
anything?
All I'm saying is that this guy mistreated men and women and was portrayed not only as a conscious leader, but also as a god for those people, you see? So, of course,
Yeah, yeah. You're making my
this,
point. You making my point, bro. He was their God. That's what it come down to. That's why
yes,
he was able to
but
do everything he did.
that was within this dysfunctional quote unquote family. That was within that cult. Just
Oh,
like you see
so
the H. Mm-hmm.
go ahead, go ahead, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Well, his
I'm just
lengthy sentence, right, was all his fault. Like you heard
yeah,
the
yeah,
judge even before she sentenced him said, "I would have been inclined to, use discretion in sentencing."
yeah,
But throughout the trial, you've had these shenanigans. During the victim impact statements, while they're speaking, you were laughing, you were scoffing, you were mocking, you were pointing and acting shocked. So because
yeah,
of that,
yeah,
I'm giving you the state's recommendation of the maximums. Like, when Cory Booker said, "Hey, he's redeemable," which I don't think Cory Booker believed, but because he's his lawyer, he has to. He's obligated to defend his client to the best of his ability. When he said he's redeemable, had he shown those type of qualities, it might have been the case that the judge would have been like, you know what, this is your first offense. You've never been convicted of any felonies. You were a barber years ago. We'll take this into consideration. You grew up in foster care where your parents were
right.
deceased and abandoned you. I'll
Yeah,
consider all that in my sentencing.
yeah,
But it
yeah.
was his behavior
I
that
totally
condemned him.
under. That's why I told you the guy is a jackass. I know that. You see what I'm saying? Because for you to be in these kind of situations, bro, you supposed to be on your best behavior. You supposed to be pleading for sympathy and showing remorse. But I told you the guy is mentally ill with the
Go on,
stupid.
coach. All right, see you
Yeah,
Monday.
yeah. The
Yeah.
guy is. Hey, big man, who that is? Napu? But yeah, the guy is mentally ill because even when he see he about to get hanged, he's still being ignorant. So then again, on that part, I totally understand that part. He deserve it. First of all, his dumb ass should have taken the 10 years and be out in 7 years or something like that. That's the first thing he should have done because there are too many witnesses and too many proof against you. You know what I mean? It's like common sense, but that's how ignorant he think he's some kind of god, and you know what I'm saying? But anyway, bro. But like I said, and one more thing I'm gonna tell Shaka, I wasn't talking about you. I mean, I was just saying, like, if we're gonna give this energy when it comes to a black man because we don't like him, all I'm saying, we gotta give the energy to everybody when we hear these kind of things. If we're gonna cover rape, we're gonna cover this and that, we're gonna cover it all across the board. That's all I'm saying, bro. Because when we just do
I
it,
thought
when
that's what we're doing here.
nah, we don't do that there, bro. We do it, we pick and choose who we want to. That's how I see it.
I disagree.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. All
every
right.
time I
If
hear about some cases like that, we talk
all
about it.
right, all right, all right, all right, all right. I'm gonna hold you to that, and I'm gonna hold you to that. Go ahead.
Okay. But once again, the huge difference, and Kara, she did put that comment there. You clearly never heard of Waco or Jim Jones, and I did say, Kara, did Jim Jones rape? And she said, not the Jim Jones, but in Waco he will sleep with the man's wife. Now notice she did not mention rape. So they were willing to do that, and I'm not trying to make any excuses for Jim Jones. And I also ask, how
That's my
long
point.
does he worship for? You see, that nature boy guy, he
Hmm.
was free. He moved in many different countries. That guy from Waco, right? He was within a particular territory. They had their property. He was inside. That nature boy guy was free, traveling in different countries, portrayed as a leader. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah,
don't know how long he was worshipped for. But
just
my
like
thing
Dr.
here,
Young.
yes, yes, indeed.
Okay then.
But we have some people defending Malachi York, like Filthy Frankie Scamchetta, like Dawson Ina, like Sister Prison, you know, and Babylon Don, the so-called linguist who be, cheerleading on Pum Pum Smash Walkwell platform.
and
You know
and
what I'm
and
saying?
and
So
the hundreds of Nairobians that still follow him today. So it's
yes,
not
yes,
just
indeed.
them.
I'm saying?
It's a big
So he was
problem.
found guilty and they're still defending him. But what I want to say is that, as far as I'm concerned, what happened has nothing to do with race. But it's true that black men, black women, a lot of time get worse punishment. But that being said, some wrong was done. He may appeal. They may reduce his sentencing, but he will, in any way, spend many years in prison if he doesn't end in prison for the rest of his life. You see,
Yeah, I
and
don't.
indeed, like he was stated, his behavior did not help at all.
Yeah,
Did not
yeah.
help
That's
at
why
all.
his ignorance is what got him all of that to me. Because as far as the accusing and all of that, I don't see the guy deserve life for that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to feel that way. It's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because I just feel like everybody took a part in it. That's how it became what it was in the first place. And then they had incidents where they see red flags and they still allow it. They still, until it was too much.
Feel free, brothers and sisters. We can talk, we can agree, we can disagree. Feel free. You know, feel free. We share the link to get on the panel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I feel in a perfect world, if the law was the law for whatever crime, and then everybody get whatever they're gonna get for committing a crime, it would be more uh, equal. But like you said, we know that that's not the case, and it's basically it's true. Everything that everybody was saying is true, and I don't know. I'm not an expert when it comes to time and stuff like that. I just think that if a person rapes, uh, the first time they get caught, they should be castrated. If some stuff is not extreme enough to make um to send a message, and if they try to do something in that case, then that means that person is unhelpable. So if you get castrated, or they just do something to a female who did the same thing where she can't use her sex organ, and you still trying, it's no different if you cut off somebody's hand for stealing and they still trying to do it. That is way past
Yeah.
the physical situation. That means that person
Ah, damn, talk
eventually gonna have to be
castrate.
unalive
That's how you feel,
and
my boy?
some
They
type
should
of
cut it off?
huh?
You say you feel like they should cut it off?
Yeah, but,
Ah,
because
ah, damn, boy.
'cause-
They did
yeah,
that in ancient
because
Egypt, but maybe it was. I'm
That's
not
a
sure.
life. That's a
Go
life
ahead, go ahead.
sentence
yeah,
right there. That's a life sentence,
yeah,
Star.
right. Because the person will have to, the rapist or the molester will have to constantly live with that. See, that's the thing. Even this is why a lot of these dudes
Right,
behave the
right,
same way, because York did the same thing. You know,
right, right, right.
he didn't speak at his trial. Um, he let
Cause
all this stuff happen. He should have took a deal when they tried to give it to him. He would have been out in 15 years. He would have been out what? He went in 2002. I
yeah.
mean, they gave him 15, then they gave him. He should have took 20. He would have been out in 2022, but he didn't take the deal, and he
he
got
did take
way
the
more
deal.
I thought
than
Yuck
what
take the deal.
he
He
would.
did take the deal.
Yeah, I thought Yuck take
No,
the deal.
Yeah. So what happened was he took the deal and the judge denied it. So
right,
he pled
and they gave
guilty.
him
Wow.
more.
He pled guilty and the
Right, but I'm
judge
saying he
denied
would
it.
have had 20 years though. That was the whole thing. He still would have been out, and he
Well,
he messed up.
But he
Listening,
did
not
take the
listening.
deal though. He did take the deal though. He took
yeah,
the deal. He pled guilty,
man.
and then the judge denied it. The judge said, "No, you deserve more
But
time. You're going to trial.
Yeah,
Give
he
you
needed
time."
more time. Right, right, right. Correct.
but he
And
did
so,
not take the deal immediately. He refused to take the deal for a long time, and then when the evidence was overwhelming, particularly the herpes and chlamydia that were found on the children, then he changed his defense. So I think it is correct that if in the first place he would have agreed to the plea deal, then most likely the judge would not have refused that plea bargain. Um, now, I have concerned, but I do not see anything. I don't know what. I mean,
What you
it's
mean?
like it's blurry. It's blurry. So uh, you can just participate in the chat, or if you want to get on the panel, I would like you to use a webcam where we can basically see your face, so feel free, brothers and sisters.
Yeah, and they even with York, they tried to paint just to give something to credence to what Heru was saying. They tried to say that what York case was the biggest in U.S. history. That's a lie. You know
See
what I'm
what I'm
saying? That
saying?
you see what
Facts.
I'm
Go
saying?
ahead.
Certain
Yep.
things is
That's
not.
what
They
they
just
do to black men, though.
right. They did the same thing that OJ said was the crime of the century. Okay, so he killed two people allegedly. How was that the crime of the century? If you kill two people, come on now. And then
He
you
just
had at the same time, Scientology was killing their own defectors from they church, and they
facts.
was killing them and putting them in a tub full of hot scalding water in a bunch of hotel. Because when I went back and did the research, and they used OJ case to cover up what Scientology was doing like a year before. So it's like you said, when you do the research, I think even that it's another white guy that was a cult leader. I think they gave him like 300 years. He had a whole white church, or what, he had a whole bunch of land, and he was like doing the same thing that David Koresh was doing, just a little bit more. He had a bunch of young girls he was marrying them people to each other. I think I can't think his name right now, but one of them guys got like 300 years. So it is people out there, but because it's a nature thing, that's the one-sided racism that the hate that they have for black people. Like you said, that when you see somebody committing the same kind of crime, but you're gonna go light on yours, that's showing you right there that this has nothing to do with the crime. This has to do with how they just naturally feel, and that's
Right.
the thing. So we're gonna
On top
always have that, like you said, that
on top of the on top of the crime, though, you know what I'm saying? Don't get
right.
me wrong. The guy is wrong, you know what I mean? Regardless. The guy is a fool. He
Mm-hmm.
he trusts
But
these
hey, Ru,
people to never
hey, Ru,
switch on him, and he took advantage of them because of that, and now it's backfiring in his face. Regardless, I ain't say, don't get me wrong. I understand the victims. Don't get me wrong. Even if they put themselves in that position to a certain extent till they see they couldn't control the situation, I understand that too. Especially if they didn't have men there to back them up. You see what I'm saying? So,
Right.
yeah. Go ahead, VB.
but look, Eligio knew all of what y'all was saying about all of these other cases and how hard it is to be a man or be that type of person in society, and he
Facts.
did
You're
it
right.
anyway.
You're right. You got a great point there, my boy.
Y'all ain't gonna reason about this one. He was gonna do it anyway.
That's how ignorant he is. You see what I'm saying? Well, if he's a so-called God, he gonna rot. You be a god jail god then.
Look, he
Yeah.
knew he
But
knows injustice exists.
that's why he took it this far. I don't know if y'all remember, he did a whole video where he was talking about being a god, and I could see the end, and I know how it ends, and just all. I know y'all remember that. Like, and I'm looking at this dude. I said, "Oh, so when the doors close in, your best bet is to take it all the way because you want to be a martyr." Right? Like that's why
Yeah,
he
he
spied.
was starting to go crazy when they was on that bus in Costa Rica. He was trying to get himself and his followers shot.
He was trying to
And
get them all killed in
that's when he was
Costa
really
Rica.
starting the Jesus Christ thing on the low right then. But he was been given signs in 3 different countries, and the people kept telling him he was wrong, but he ignored that. And so I'm not surprised to see him even at this point. He's going to look at it like same thing. He feel like I forgave y'all, and York do the same thing to this day. And certain books he done put out and little messages to his crew that come out there. He said he forgive y'all for leaving him out there. He shouldn't be the only one in there. I took the blame for this. Jacob fault and everybody else. So it's like he do both, but they calling him the Black Messiah right now.
Right.
And so this is
they some real psychopaths, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why
yeah.
how I see.
These are people who wanted to be something when they was young, and whatever happened, they didn't get a shot,
We
and
all
then they
wanted to
went
be
to
some.
that route.
Right. We all want it to
And
be
so,
some, but we don't take it to that extent. Go ahead. My bad.
right, and then no remorse. And like I said, I was when I got a chance to see the faces Eligio was making, and it's classic. You know, it's the same thing. They're gonna keep holding face and trying to pretend. The same thing with Polite. Polite got online, you know, talking about the charges was dropped after we seen you
Yeah.
get sentenced. Oh, the charges was dropped. This how insane they is.
Yeah, yep.
Look at the patterns. They all do the same thing. It's
Facts.
ridiculous.
Yep.
But, but Polite, he was not totally stupid because he took the plea
Right.
bargain. Otherwise, he probably would have gotten like 30 years or something, you know.
Right.
So
He
you know, and
he
there's a
was smart
channel
on
that will
that
probably
part.
receive him when he gets out. But go ahead, brothers.
Yeah. Yeah, man, like I was saying, bro, it's just like I said, like, he put himself in that situation, and you know what I'm saying, I ain't going to blame the victims, even if they had a part to play in it. You know what I'm saying? Because all of them was looking for some, and you heard it in some of them testimony, even in the guy testimony at the end, like it just sounded like they were lost souls, just like the same thing with Jim Jones and
And
Dr. York, even that guy Tahudi on the channel right now. You got people that be praising the man. Like, really? You see what I'm saying? So when you that deep into these biblical narratives and the spiritual thing, you let people take advantage of you. And that's what I'm seeing here, because it's nothing that this guy was saying that would make me want to listen to him. If anything, I was disgusted with
because
this.
you're probably more whole than him, and probably just more smarter than him. Honestly, my guy, just off the
Facts.
top. Like, man,
Right.
let's be honest. Hey, Rue, that nigga was hella predatory, bro.
Facts. Like just like the rest of them,
Just like
the
just
same
like
traits, right?
and I'm gonna even say this. They already know that there's going to be people who have a certain type of logic, right? Like, there'll be people saying, "Oh, hey, Rue, he was defending him." No,
Right.
hey, Rue's defending black men, but it's in this particular circumstance. So now he gets to insert himself in it when you clearly said, "No, this nigga's an idiot. This dude, he's stupid for even being in the position." Da da da. But people don't. These guys are extremely shrewd, and they're part of the and everybody's, like you said, everybody has an agenda. I became part of the conscious community because I wanted something more than just Jesus, and I wanted to learn about what came before what you're telling me.
Hey.
Like, yeah, that's why I came here. Then you
Yeah.
got dudes
Hold
like
on one
him.
second. Napa, go on mute for a minute. I mean, Napu. Yeah, it got a lot of noise in the background. Go ahead, man.
Okay. Then you got dudes like the guys who we've been naming all day. Just pick whoever. Obviously, we're here for Nature Boy right now. I remember when he first started like recruiting people, and he was talking about the mirror and you see me and I see you, and come to me and da 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 da, and you'll find your way to me. And I'm all like, "Oh, you about to start hitting people, hitting them in the email and shit, hitting them in the DM, huh?" So he started doing all that. Next thing you know, he got his little tribe, and he's steady. You know, he's not even really trying to build nothing. He's just looking for attention. This was
Followers.
literally like a clout chasing
Support.
religion,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah. I told that. Yeah, it's just like the rest of them, bro. Like, even the people that was following Polite, even if he didn't have a so-called cult where he have everybody in the house, most people that was following him and sympathizing with him is because of the what he was speaking about. So it was more a spiritual thing for them. You see what I'm saying? So even those that really was listening to him, they probably felt a way when they find out he did what he did. You see what I'm saying? But if he didn't do that, and he had the opportunity to get these people in a cult because of the knowledge that he was spitting out, he would probably get them. You know what I'm saying? Till he took advantage of them, just like the guy that died, and he said that Paul like robbed him from so much money and all of that.
Crypto
Yeah, exactly. You see what I'm saying?
crypto
So
something.
right.
Crypto
So
roots.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so we gotta be aware. Like that's why we speak when we speak about what we speak, so we won't have more victims like this. To let people, make them think they are some supernatural human being when they just another man. You know what I mean? Don't let literature and biblical narrative fool you, because it's going on every day. The whole world is a cult, man. Government is a cult. The churches is a cult. The work system is a cult. Everything is in groups. Everything have their specific rules and regulations. And if you don't abide by them, you are out of it. That's just how. That's why you see a lot of men out here that cannot bite their tongue, cannot turn the other cheek just to keep a job, because they have so much pride and morals, and but they don't understand, bro. You gotta, if you're not gonna make it on your own, you gotta join some kind of cult to get bread. That's just how it is. You could call it a job if you want. You could call it slavery if you want. If you ain't making no money and you feel like you slaving for 2 chains, you could call it that. But like that's just how I feel. Politicians is a cult. And things that they talk about, we would never know because we not in that cult. You see where I'm coming from? So it's people just have to have a stronger mind, be more disciplined, have better adults in their circle when they're young, so they won't caught up in that mess. And at the end of the day, I feel sorry that we gotta keep going over
Guidance.
this. Yeah, especially when it comes to black men, but like I said, color don't mean nothing, and I learned that from a youth. I realized it doesn't. Color don't mean nothing. So don't. But I see it that way. That doesn't mean other people see it that way. That doesn't mean other races see it that way. So you know what I'm saying. So it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with everything in between. Even if I see, regardless if it's a black man or white man and he did something wrong, and whatever the rules and the regulations according to what he deserved, then that's just what it should be. But I see the tables turn too much when it comes to different races. That's the only issue I ever have with these kind of situations. But the guy he's a psycho. He have scamming intentions. He have manipulating in characteristics and all of that. You see what I'm saying? So
Characteristics.
yeah, so me from the first time I hear people like that speak, is like, man, get the fuck out of here. Whether it's polite, whether it's they can't. I'm not the one. You see what I'm saying, Shaka? Not
So
even
we know the
not even.
panels that promoted him.
Yeah, but this is
And
what I'm saying.
mm.
It had panels promoting Nature Boy as well, right?
Oh, I was talking about Nature Boy actually. But
Oh,
actually
okay.
the same
So,
panel that promoted Polite is the same one that promoted Nature Boy. But I would like to play two clips.
oh, I know who you
Um,
talking about. Go ahead.
yes. Now, somebody else said that she is a god and her husband is a god.
My husband is a king, but guess what? I'm a queen. My husband is a god, but guess what? I'm a god.
So her husband.
You see
You
what
see,
she
that's it.
did?
Yep, that's the same
Now,
kind of people you gotta look out for. Because if
let
they
me ask. Go
go
ahead, go
ahead,
ahead,
go
go ahead.
ahead. No, no, go. You finish. Go ahead.
Let me just ask people in the chat. This symbol, this sign, isn't it one sign that those what is it? Third God, or those followers of um Nature
Um,
Boy were doing?
yeah, that's
But
yeah.
that
They used
being
to do
said,
that too. They used to do that with the eye. All of them used to do that. All the women and the men, even those that speaking against him, used to do that. You see what I'm
yeah.
saying? So
So
I'm
and
just trying to make a point. Like, they probably was did wrong, but they was participating in the nonsense to make it come that far. That's all I'm saying. But
yeah, they
yeah,
were
bro.
they were they were mentally enslaved. You know what
and
I'm saying?
and that's the people
Here,
you gotta look out for. Sanetta and Napa, they have the same characteristics as some of these pedos and these people that take advantage and manipulate people.
What
They
made you bring Sonetta up?
Who that, me?
Yeah.
Because he just played Napa and she was saying the same thing about they are gods. You see what
yeah.
I'm saying?
You
And
didn't see it? I can play it again. Hold on, let me play
and
it
Okay.
again. Young Harold.
yeah,
One moment,
and
please.
what's the
My husband is
Hold on, Young Harold, 1 second, please.
my husband is a king, but guess what? I'm a queen. My husband is a god, but guess what? I'm a god.
So go ahead, young hero.
So I was just saying. So like, they show a little bit of signs of that same. I think I'm something that I'm not. All because of on all these things. People don't get it, bro. This been going on for thousands of years, bro. All this thing is in the mind. All these things is mythical ideas and thoughts. None of these things these people say and do is not physical, is not nature, is not reality. And nobody haven't proved me wrong till this day. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see some supernatural. I'm waiting to see you fly. I'm waiting to see you feed 1,000 people with 1 fish and 2 bread, like the so-called
You
mythical
don't
story.
you don't believe in the people who astral project? You don't think that happens?
No, bro.
I don't.
Like,
I'm gonna stop.
no,
Okay,
no, no,
okay.
no. I mean, show me. I would love to see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what's
Niggas
wrong
be
with
talking
you,
about they can
Beirut?
astral project and then go to prison. I'd be
B
like, yo,
Bennett,
if I could astral project, there's no
you
sentence you could ever give me. I'll just astral project out.
exactly. Thank you very much. I don't even have to do that. I'll turn into a rat and go
Yeah,
through the cracks. Go
yeah,
ahead.
exactly.
Now, before I let Divinely Inspired, uh, just state his piece. Um, it was mentioned. Crypto Roots was mentioned. Somebody who was, done wrong financially. Here you have Filthy Frankie years back who said that Polite was a scammer, but after that he was cool with the dude when he gave him money, and he said that he robbed from women and children.
I know you ain't talking about that girl, huh? The one that ran away from home, who snuck out the room and left her mother because her mother left you. You want me to tell the people why she left you, bitch? I'll tell them when you cut back. I'll tell them when you come back at me. I ain't gonna give up everything. Told you it'd be better to leave me the fuck alone. You're fucking with the wrong one, and you know I'm crazy enough to go the fuck in. I'm not scared of getting beat the fuck down. I'ma still go in, nigga. You better kill me, bitch. You better fucking kill me. Fuck is wrong with you? Ain't nobody scared of you, nigga. Ain't nobody in this world is more grimier, low life, scumbag as you. You done robbed from little babies, motherfucker. You done robbed from women and children, nigga.
Go ahead, Divinely Inspired. How you doing, brother?
Hey, peace, brother. Peace to the panel. What's up, y'all? Peace to the chat. This was, well, he got what he was looking for. And through his behavior, I didn't think that it was going to be life without parole. Wow. But he got what he was looking for. Whatever he did, like his actions on video, saying that just take it and all that crucified him. His in-court antics crucified him. So just is what it is. He did this to himself.
Now he's famous for real now.
Oh yeah.
Life without parole plus 10 years.
I don't see how we all, like, y'all really didn't think he was gonna get life.
No,
I didn't think so. I said it earlier. I didn't think so.
You didn't know that they had offered him a plea deal.
Well, very recently, like a few days ago, I heard about 30 years, that they offered him. Now, apparently, he was offered 10 years before that, and he refused. But what's for sure is that we heard the judge, so we know what's going on now, and he may appeal, and after the appeal, that'll be it. I don't think he will go to the Supreme Court or but yeah, I mean his behavior, and yeah. I mean, he's probably regretting, and he will regret most likely until the end of his life because he had an opportunity, So when you're sentenced to life plus 10 years and you know that you were offered 10 years, I mean, this is an analogy, but maybe you've heard about Yahoo. People wanted to buy Yahoo and they refused. They were offered a certain amount of money, and later on, hold on, somebody may need to go on mute, but later on they sold they sold Yahoo. They sold the company for much less that they were offered in the first place. You know, you can never go back. You know, and sometimes in life we should not be too greedy. You know, because
Yep,
at
you can
one
say
point
that
you mess
again.
up. You just can't go back. You just
If I knew
can't
what
go back.
I knew now when I was younger, sucker, I would have been way better off. Just you, me.
Well, we learn from our mistakes or our
And
experience, and we also
experience,
learn from
yeah.
other people's. And like you said earlier, it's good when you have people, you know, who are mature, because usually people who are mature have wisdom. You know, Filthy Frankie is an idiot, 60-year-old, but
Right.
guidance is good. You know, and
That's true.
once again, people, if they don't like me, it's cool. I'm not known for lying, and I'm not hurting people. I'm not stealing from people, right? But those people who rape and protect rapists, protect child molesters, and protect scammers, some people call them, you know, cautious people. Some people call them elders. And those sick people who speak, the leader of those people who speak sexually about a child, right? He attacked us for a damn year, and that's public. And after
And
he
Shaka,
attacked us, you have some so-called advocate who went against us. Make that sense. But we standing strong. You know, go ahead, VB.
can you look up how many years life without parole is? It's not 30. I think it's like 60, man.
Well,
In
honestly,
Georgia. In Georgia.
I don't even feel like having to look. But if anybody wants to, feel free to leave it in the comment. You know, because you will have like 6 people on the panel. So you know, but feel free if anybody want to have a look. You know, life without parole in Georgia. You know, if it's 60 years or you know, just tell us. You know, because I don't know myself. So
No,
please feel free.
his sentence for life. His sentence of life is his natural life. It's not a number of years. So he sentenced his natural life plus 10 years.
Sheesh.
So you mean that means till he dies?
That's it.
Yeah, and then after he dies, he still owes the state 10 years.
See?
Damn.
I'm
Maybe they
shaking,
believe
man.
in reincarnation. Maybe, yeah, but yeah, it is what it is. You know, I mean.
Yeah, even reincarnated, he'll still owe 10 years.
My goodness.
Wow.
And that's something.
Wow.
Man.
See, like you got nigga want to make a clout chasing code. Every time you look up, he doing a live stream. Every time you look up, he doing a video. Every time you look up, he's recording some shit. And come on, man, like think he was recording. I mean, I know we don't call them mandingo fights, but he was having mandingo fights with the women. And I know he wasn't on trial for that, but I'm just saying when you look at these things that we're not even talking about this stuff right now. We're not even dealing with this type of stuff right now, right? But we know all that went on. And you know what? Hey, Rue is right. Some of these people did put themselves in that position, but when you're a predatory nigga like him, you find those people and you bring them to you. Any of us could be doing something similar as to what he was doing, but we're not like that. We're better people than that. And part of the and another thing, nobody takes account for those of us who really care and are really trying to make a difference. And we have to have these discussions. We have to address this shit. None of us are even doing anything like this nigga's doing. But when it comes time to talk about it, they gonna talk to us about it. So am I happy this is happening? Nah, I'm never happy to see this happen to a black man. But when is enough enough? It went on for a long time. And he wrote it all the way out to Ultimate Con Man. I was watching this show called Sneaky Pete. And in Sneaky Pete, he says, you ride the con all the way to the end. You never break character. He did this to himself, y'all. This is what he wanted.
Yeah, and then like you were saying earlier, right? Like the victims, they were young when he found them. Like he's 40 years old now, And some of these people, like Juju, was 17. You know, they were in their early 20s. Um, I can't imagine what it would be like. Like I joined the Marine Corps as soon as I got out of high school, and that might have been out of desperation, honestly. Um, but I could imagine what it would be like to be homeless for an extended period of time, and then finding somebody who's like, "Hey, look, I have the answer to all your solutions." When you're that young, and you can't really see a way out, and then
Yep.
YouTube shows you this guy who's living in nature, waterfalls, and eating from trees, you know, and you're living free. You don't have to worry about paying for your clothes, your
Facts,
food, or
Justin.
your shelter. Like it's easy. Like it's easy to sit back on a panel and play with Monopoly money. But if you are selling your body for you know, a place to stay for the week or the month, it's hard for me to imagine that it's not an irresistible offer when he's like, well, come join me out here in nature, you know.
You know, there was
Hey,
many
well
years
said,
ago.
brother. Well said.
Yeah, there was many years ago where I seen a video of a former member or follower of Nature Boy, and he said, maybe some of you seen it. He seemed quite mature, and he said that Nature Boy here one of the woman who was in a relationship with some other guy. I mean, maybe they call themselves husband's wife. I don't remember, but and he said he held her by her privates in front of the guy, and they were saying quite a few things. But you know, when something like that happens, he was with another person. I think it was just a few of them, a couple or a few of them. So they look like, well, they're mad, they hate. You know what I'm saying? But years back now, you know, but back
Mm.
then they were seen as, you know, diverters, you know, like, you know, people just hating on the leader, jealous at the leader, you know what I'm saying? And actually, the uh Roots, what was the name before Roots? The
Crypto
one who
roots.
passed away, Crypto Roots, thank you. Crypto Roots made many videos, you know. Unfortunately, I think he was already gone, you know, when I came across those videos, you know. But he made so many videos, and you know, and he didn't get any support. He didn't get his money back, and then he's gone. But ultimately, you know, Polite, you know, had some severe punishment, you know. But what can be considered worrying, sorry, something to worry about is that once Polite will be out, I think you will have a particular panel that will receive him, you know, because he was asked not long ago if you would have him, and he answered, "You never know." You know what I'm saying? Now, I didn't hear myself, but it's a very close friend of him who said that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that's gonna be in a few years. You know, but what's for sure is that there are some child molesters that he's still protecting. You know, in Harlem, in the Bronx, and the scammers. It's like, you know, it's not even something that they worry about. You know, since they are defending rapists and child molesters publicly. But I guess one thing for sure is that this can serve as a lesson. This can serve as a lesson.
I hope
Brothers
so.
and sisters,
Yeah, it
even
seems like
male,
they don't
even
learn their lesson.
No, they don't learn the
yeah,
lesson. They
yeah,
don't.
and brothers and sisters, you know, including males, feel free to speak. It doesn't have to be publicly on some social media. It can be a family member, it can be a friend, because sometimes when you are in a situation, you may not realize how bad the situation is. And I'm speaking from experience, you know. My son's mother attacked me physically, and even today, some people are still trying to act like I'm the one who hit her. And that's just amazing. And I have the audio that I recorded from my phone because she was violent towards me physically before, right? And I knew she was doing that because she wanted me to hit her to play the victim. You know what I'm saying? I knew her. You know, we lived together, we had a child together. But that being said, the situation was so messy, and I did not even realize how messy it was when I started speaking to two people, you know, two people on the phone, one brother, one sister. And as I was speaking to them, I actually realized how messed up the situation was. Sometimes when you are in a messy situation, you don't even realize. You want things to go well. That was the first child that I had. I grew up with my parents, so I wanted to give that to my son, but it wasn't possible after a while. I actually left. You know what I'm saying? But so all that to say, feel free if you're not sure, if you don't feel comfortable, if you speak to some family members or some friends or even some strangers if you have nobody to talk to, you know, but that can be helpful, because sometimes people are not ready to leave a situation because they may be afraid that if they leave, they may end up in a worse situation. But it is good to talk, it is good to speak, you know. Because when I separated from my son's mother, just like the nasty, disgusting rape OK platform, I had some Pan Africans criticizing me. Now, most of them, they don't do jack, they don't say jack. Many of the organizations don't even exist anymore, But back then, I was seen as the bad person because they were defending a pathological liar, someone who has lied so damn many times, These group efforts, they're so hard. And recently we've seen that a group effort by some feminists gone bad. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you will have a group of people that will go against you, Just try to stand on truth and principle. And it's not easy because sometimes they provoke you so much, so you may be tempted, to do some wild things, But unfortunately, life is just not an easy road all the time. Sometimes you come across some real messy people, And just like Nature Boy got his karma, just like Polite got his karma, Filthy Frankie will get his karma. And most of the people who support him, sometimes it can take time, but when he hits severely. I did not expect him to get life, let alone life plus 10 years. And if you've seen me smiling or laughing earlier, it's because of the comments that were left. It's not because of what was stated on the panel, because some people had different, analogies and jokes about him, having like this one here. If he has a stroke and he dies in a year, but zap back, he gets out in 10, and other people made similar statements, you know. Pumpkin, how you doing? So trust me, I was in a messy situation. Not as bad as the people who were inside of Nature Boy's crew. But once again, I know I'm repeating myself. I did not even realize how messy it was until I spoke to that brother and to that sister. And as I
I've
was
been there
explaining how it
before.
was, well, you
I've
see,
been there, like, as far as realizing when somebody is using you for their advantage, and they make you think they want something, but behind closed doors they really just using you because they need you. You know what I'm saying? And there's some people that don't have family and all of that. So sooner or later, I was tripping about it, like, what's wrong with me? You know what I'm saying? Till I realized it wasn't me at all. You know what I'm saying? And I should have known better to begin with. You know what I mean? But like Shaka say, when you grow up with a family, with your mother and your father, you try to do the same thing for your child. And another thing is, people like to make excuses. And
oh, young Harold, feel free to come back. We lost you. I don't know if you can hear me. Let me type it. Harold, lost you. But feel free, brothers and sisters. I'm surprised. Why is it that sisters don't get on the panel? You know, I hope you don't believe the feminists gone bad who try to label us, woman haters. But I know it's not the case because there's many women in the chat. But it would be good to hear from some woman. Is that young hero coming back? Yeah, it says the device is not connected. It may take a few seconds. Otherwise, just come out, just leave and come back. But I cannot put you on because it says device is not connected. So I cannot, add you on the panel. But it looks like young hero is about to come back. Yeah, it was messy. I did not even realize how messy it was until I spoke about it. Sometimes you just don't realize, you know. And they try to blame you. They try to say it's your fault. Some people are really toxic. Really toxic. Those Pan-Africans are so disgusting. They defend rapists and child molesters. You back, young hero. Feel free, brother.
Yeah, sorry about that, man. But
No, it's okay. It's
yeah,
not your fault. Go ahead.
like I was saying, yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of men on this panel are all over the world, you know, what I mean, been through situations like that, you know, like. And another thing, you know, some people don't understand is like it's easy to do what everybody else is doing. You see what I'm saying? And people still this day don't understand that. They try to act like fighting for something is too hard. Trying to work on something is too hard. And everybody else do this and they been that, or they had this baby daddy. That's why you got women with 4 or 5 different baby daddies, because it's society done manipulate people minds so much they brainwash. So everything is always easier to give up, you know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of families don't have the mother and father in the home. Sometimes it's the father fault because he might be a drunk, he might be a bum, he might be abusive. Sometimes it's the mother fault because no matter what the father do, it's not enough expectations and controlling, or you know what I'm saying? It could be different things. And the father walk away because he can't deal with it. So, but he might get blamed for not being in the child's life. So, man, it's
Yeah.
like, bro, these things happens over and over. It's nothing new. Like, you know what I mean? Come on, bro. Like, so people could say what they want, you know what I mean? We all know what it is. We all know people character by the way they carry themselves, and that should say it all, you know what I'm saying? Everybody been in situation that they regret they could have done better or whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? Some people regret it till they can't regret it because they never had a second chance because their life got taken because of that decision. So yeah, but like I said, Shaka, we ain't out here raping nobody. We ain't out here manipulating nobody with no so-called spiritual boo-boo and all that nonsense. We ain't out here scamming nobody, touching no children, disrespecting nobody, children and parents, talking about we know so-called God, all of that. So, bro, the characteristics of these people, it shows. You could see it from a mile away if you just pay attention. So everybody just, you know, like have talk with your family members, your children, because one day they're gonna grow up. You can't always be there to supervise them. So we gotta talk to them about all these things that happen in our community, whether it's on the white side or the black side, so they could be aware when they go out in the world, you know, so they don't get caught up in these kind of situations. Well, man.
That's what's up. Now,
Yep.
Pumpkin, in the private chat, she wrote that she cannot hear. She's asking what she did wrong. I don't know, Pumpkin, but you do have the settings. At the bottom, you have mute, stop cam settings, and there you should be able to select your earphone, or your headset. But feel free, everybody else who want to speak, just feel free. 7 people on the panel. I mean, I can flow, but I like to hear from people too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. Like,
I can
yeah, I
definitely
don't.
flow.
Now, I was just going to say, I don't. It is what it is. Like I said, it has so many people in the world. You know what I mean? There are billions. So we don't let the evil outdo the good that's in the world, because people act like it's not that much good, but there are million times more good than evil. It's just that the evil is so dramatic because it's so much good. That's why it seems so. You see what I'm saying? If it didn't have so much good, it wouldn't seem so disgusting and outrageous when we see evil. Because the majority of the world want to live in peace, don't want to be harmed, don't want nobody to harm their family members, don't want to do nobody no harm. But it's always going to be bad seeds in every apple. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you could take out 500 or 500,000 out of billions, and that's still nothing. You know what I mean? It's just sad because it could be anybody. It could be you, me, whoever tomorrow. You see what I'm saying? So regardless of that we still here. There are many people that got killed, got whatever. Like the song say, 6 million ways to die. You know what I'm saying? So
choose one.
Choose one.
it is, you know. So
Oh,
it's sad, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, this is, you hear me now?
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I hear you. There's somebody else
Oh, my
on
bad.
yeah,
No, like I
but
was saying, it's sad, but hopefully the victims learn and the people that are watching learn so they won't become victims. And hopefully these stupid people that read these things and let it go to their head and make them think they're something they're not, and they could take advantage of human beings when they're supposed to be so-called standing up for human beings. That's the whole thing that messed me up. They all claim that narrative to lead you to the way, to this, to that, but everything they do is opposite. Everything they do is some wickedness, some, you know, sexual, some deviant, you know what I mean? So hopefully they learn a lesson too, because I'm sick of seeing them, if you ask me. But go ahead.
yes, we have we have Sister Andrea.
Hey, Andrea.
Hi.
So how are
So
you?
I'm well, thank you. I think he got the right verdict. I mean, he had an opportunity to get something a whole lot less. And you know, when you let your ego get in front of you, you get what you get. You know, you know, we can say everybody else, you know, did whatever, but at the end of the day, he was the one who's on trial, not God or the devil. You know, like they want to portray, and you know, he got what he got. He had an opportunity to do something different, and you know, I don't, you know, when it comes to black men and stuff like that, you know, I don't rejoice when our black men have to do certain things. But when you are out here doing what you're, and you know what you're doing, ain't nobody got to tell you that. You know what you're doing, and then you know, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. If you're gonna walk around thinking you God, well, I guess you know God was on trial today, and it's the first time I've seen God lose, right? So you know, he got what he got, and I don't feel sorry for him for that. I mean, our community deserves better, and regardless of whether I like, you know, because I don't know him from Adam, don't know him, but we need to stop this. You know, we keep covering up in our community, and that's why. Um, why it seems like we might be rejoicing as it were, because too much of this keeps happening to our children. And I know they weren't children, I know they were adults and all that kind of stuff, but it's still the same thing. Children were witnessing some of this stuff happening by his own mouth. He said that. We didn't say that. He said that about himself, the activities that he was participating in. Then he said they were acting. Well, he wasn't a good acting of a God, because he was doing things more beyond than what he should have been doing. So, you know, his performance was piss poor if you're going to look at it that way, you know. So, you know, stop doing this stuff, and you ain't got to worry about, you know, spending time in jail. Stop doing it. It's really that simple. But you know, and then you just see his behavior even after the verdict came in. Just that alone, you know, swaying back and forth and laying back down, and I mean, seriously, no,
Psychopath.
you know, yeah. I mean, it wasn't necessary. He had an opportunity to do something different, okay, and he chose that. I'll take my chances, okay. You Russian rouletted yourself to life in prison. That's what he did. And you know, and for everybody else that came out and gave their statement, you know, that takes a lot of courage to do that too, because some people do get hoodwinked and bamboozled into believing that where they're going and what they're participating in is good. Anybody who gets involved in, like you say, Young Henry all the time, anybody who gets caught up in all these religions, this is the propensity of what could happen. And that's been happening for a long time, but some people don't carry it that far to where they think it's okay for them to put their hands on people or whoop people. All religions are not doing that. Some of them, yes, but not all of them. And for the ones who think it's okay for them to do that, they deserve that. They deserve all of them. I mean, like I said, we're focusing mostly on our community, not so much about what other people are doing, but our community needs to stop. We need to stop doing that. It's not good for it's not good for the community. So I mean, I feel bad for those of us who are trying to seek some acceptance amongst our own, and then we get treated this way. This should not be happening. I don't care where you try to find your acceptance at. You should not be being beaten or raped or whatever the words that or whatever is happening in the community. Those things should not be taking place. And so until they stop, he got his just due because he took it to a level that it should not have been taken to. So, you know.
Don't start none, won't be none.
Yeah.
Let me just say, joyful life. Maybe you did not have a chance to hear that, but I would like you to use a webcam, please. Everybody else on the panel, they've used their webcam. We've seen them before. So otherwise, feel free to participate in the chat, but we would love to hear from you. You just have to use your webcam. You know, it doesn't have to be a little webcam. It can be the phone, you know, but basically, I would like to see your face. So, yeah, well, it's up to you. So feel free, brothers and sisters. You know, I would love to hear from you.
Who is that at the bottom that came on?
It's a pumpkin. It's a pumpkin.
Oh.
Yes.
You want to try? You want to try? You want to try? You want to try right now?
Yeah, there's an echo when. Hey, pumpkin.
Echo. Hi.
Hi, we hear you.
Wow, he got caught. He's been doing that for years because I've been following him. I knew sooner or later it was gonna catch him. I think he's a little mental. He got a little psychological problems, I think. I don't know. But I knew if he was in Georgia, I knew the outcome. I didn't think he was gonna get I really didn't think he was gonna get life without parole. I'm like, wow. Did he kill somebody?
No.
Yeah, but the thing was, Pumpkin, he had an opportunity to plead to something less, and he chose to go to trial, and that was what they said could happen, and that's what he chose to do. So
yeah, he took his own risks.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, regardless how people might feel about, like I said, you know, like Andrea said, we focusing on our community because that's first at hand. Like, you know, I was surprised too, you know what I mean? I think he deserved time, you know what I'm saying? But as far as life, because I done seen other cases that it wasn't the same outcome for things that was worse, you know. But like I said, it's the state is where you at. It's all the different testimonies and the all the things you be saying on internet, the disrespect. So it's a lot of things I think got played in all these things, you know, all the sexual content you make and the manipulation and all the fighting that was going on. I just feel like it was a bunch of things that sealed this case. It wasn't one thing.
And he said it was acting. And that's the sad part. Okay, so in all of that, you know, people were getting hurt.
Yeah, that's the best excuse he had. Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Georgia,
you're saying that these women are your bitches and all that stuff, and you can do whatever you want to do with them, and you expect what do you? So that's acting. That's part of that. No,
it wasn't no damn acting at all.
It wasn't.
Georgia is the Bible Belt.
Yep.
And that plays a big part in it too. I knew when it was in Georgia, I said, oh, he's going away for something. But I did not expect life without parole. But then again, that's the Georgia, you know, that's in the Georgia law.
No, but Pumpkin, he didn't. That's what he knew up front. It wasn't something that came later. That was told him.
Oh no, I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
I know.
You don't take the plea. This is what's going to happen. Yeah,
that's in any case.
Mm-hmm.
I know a kid 19 that was accused of murder. They offered him 25 to life, you know, with a possibility of parole at 19. And because they didn't find a weapon, he chose to take it to court, and he wound up getting 60 years. And the parole date eligibility date is 2060, and the max out date is 2060. So it's basically life without. It's basically life in prison. So you can't take those certain things. You can't take them to trial unless you know you didn't do it. You know, because
exactly.
they got proof you did it. You done.
And if they giving you a plea deal, it means they got you, but they can only prove so much. It doesn't mean that they don't got you. It just that mean they only have certain evidence that's provable for so much. But if you take the risk, you might end up paying double the charge just because. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's what happened here. And he's a fool. If anything, he made everybody happy today. You know, he should have taken the plea deal, and you never know. You wouldn't have probably even do the 10 years. Like, so
Wait. He didn't take the plea deal for 10 years and risk life in prison. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he put himself away. So that's how I see it.
Oh, sure, he sure did.
Yeah, because they have too much evidence, you know. So they got videotape, they got texting, they got so much. Like, come on, man, go ahead.
I was gonna say
1
that
second.
he
I'm
got
sorry,
all
Pumpkin.
those
Just 1
videos.
second, please, Pumpkin. Hold on. I'm sorry. Niniola. If she can use a webcam, please. That's a requirement. Everybody that's on the panel. Everybody that's on the panel. They've used webcams before, or even today. I know them. I've seen their faces, so I would just need to see your face. Take your time. I'll be here for a little while. Otherwise, you can participate in the chat. But go ahead, Pumpkin. Sorry about this.
No, I was gonna say that was crazy. They have all those videos from years and years and years that he did certain, he did all that stuff. He did all kind of crazy stuff. I think the boy got mental problem, mental health issues.
And it's all over the internet for you to see him doing it, dragging the women like they dogs and everything, So it's sick, man.
It is. It is sick. And that's when, people think you can go out here and just do whatever you want to do out here in this social media. That is not the behavior to be having out here. It's just not, because that's a record of anything that can be used against you somewhere down the road. You shouldn't be behaving like this. This should be an example for our children to know. Don't go out here and do this. This can get you locked up. Because all that he did, claiming it was acting and I'm God and this, no, okay, all right. Okay, we see what it got you. So God couldn't get yourself out of that. Yeah. All the whatever power you thought you had none when it comes to the court of law. So.
That's for sure. Now, Niniola, feel free. Welcome.
Hey, everybody. I told y'all that he was going down. And this is a matter of the chickens coming home to roost. The universe don't ever, 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 ever sleep. Half of the things that he was actually charged with in this, it's questionable if he's actually guilty of, like his defense attorney said, it's questionable if he actually guilty of the things that happened on March 24th. But the problem is he dug his hole for years. This is years of hole digging. And this is the universe doing its work. That man is responsible for Mama Dia. The way he did their family, that one, they couldn't even get their mama back to the state to bury her in one piece. And then Zoka baby, this is just justice for all the things that we watched. We watched all these things on live and in real time. And they were saying his people was understanding it was for our entertainment. No, I think that we were so enamored or in awe with the fact that this was even allowable on live stream. Like, I couldn't even believe half of this stuff was going on.
That's true. Come to think about it, that's things on internet. They really need to be stricter when it comes to things.
He literally was on live. He circled Velvet on live and beat her on live, and then tried to tell us that it was spiritual role play. We all watched it. We watched you abuse those people for years. Granted, some of them under Stockholm syndrome, and I still give people have to take their accountability where it's due. But at the same time, as I've said before, just because um I went for the abuse, it does not excuse the abuser of committing the abuse. So you don't get, he kept saying they trying to R. Kelly me. Well, bro, R. Kelly did those things. So not to say the parents ought not to be locked up too, but we not gonna act like R. Kelly don't deserve to be locked up. We're not just gonna, tiptoe around the fact that these people still deserve what's coming. And like I said to somebody else, like, this is just the universe doing its work. He might not have deserved it for Janae, but we can go down a list of people that are victims of Nature Boy. You know what I mean? And so I just don't have no empathy for him in this point. And honestly, I said it too. We were on live before, that part of me feel like this was part of his, like, his act. Like he I started to question, like, bro, are they wanting to be locked up? Like, is this part of, like, this grand scheme to be like this Malachi York figure? Like,
Yep.
you want people to idolize you and martyr you, or something? Because it's like, no way you thought you were gonna win this trial. They offered him 7 years, then they offered him 10 years, then they offered him 30 years. When they offer you 30 years, bro, you done
It's
messed up.
over. Right. And that's sick if you ask me. Like, I don't care about no damn MAAT. I ain't finna spend the rest of my life in jail to make nobody look at me. No way. I mean, they got issues, man.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he's not well, So the thing is that he's looking at it from a narcissist, point of view. You see what I'm saying? So he's like, oh well, I'm gonna fight this to the end because I'm God, and you can't do God like this. Well, he found out something. He found out he ain't nothing really. It is what it is.
Man, Nature Boy once said that anybody that's in jail or prison deserves to be there. He said that out his own mouth. And my, it holds true in his case, So I just don't have, people saying I feel bad for him sitting up there, whatever. I don't have an ounce of sympathy for Nature Boy at all.
I did not even hear about that. It's a woman, right, who died within that carbonation. Is it a woman? That name you said?
Yes, Mama Dia. She was an older. She was one of the elders that were in carbonation. I think she might have been the oldest that ever joined carbonation. And he convinced her to stop taking her heart medication that she was on for years, and follow his B6 diet. And honestly, it just wasn't appropriate for her health condition. And consequently, she passed away. After that, he withheld the body. They didn't even take the body down to the morgue for days, trying to, what I would suspect, come up with a story of how this happened, or and then they finally took it down there, and then her family was trying to get her belongings and the body ultimately, and
yeah,
it never came.
That's crazy you said that, man, because like I said, everybody here don't know each other personally, but we all have our personal stories. We all been through stuff, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I say about these things. Like, society is based off cults, you know what I mean? And it starts from the head to the bottom, even in these biblical narratives. And that's why these people let people convince them to do these things, and they are not no doctor. They don't have no legal right to tell you what to do and what not to do, just based on their superstition, and they think they one with nature based of books they read. You see what I mean? They are not professionals, they are not specialists, but because of biblical narrative and spirituality, people get caught up in that all the time. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even like to talk about my personal business, you know what I'm saying? But my sister, my half sister, is a victim to that. It's some religion thing, and they convince her to fast and drink water or whatever for how long. And I don't know what happened personally, but she didn't make it out. And it's like it had her own mother was in the house with them. It had people in the house, and they left her in the room there. She just died there, laying down. You sure? And that was one of my older sisters. When we was younger, she always used to come because her mom is not the same mother, it's the same father, but we was one because she always used to come and visit. But the older we got separated, But that's what I'm saying. It happens, and it's that's why these things make me sick to my stomach when I see it. And I just say all I could do is try to warn people and keep warning them, and it's just good to think for yourself, man. Go ahead.
You know, you know, um, we had that Jamal dude, Jamal Rashad.
Oh
Six
yeah, he's
months
another
ago,
one.
he was sent to prison. Now I forgot how much time he got. Didn't he get life as well?
Like 35 years.
Not 35. Okay, so I think he's in his 40s. So if he's lucky, he get out at 70, 80. But um, now 5 months ago, maybe 6 months ago, Polite went to prison also, and now so basically in 6 months, there's three person charged with abusing people who were sent to prison.
Well, the
So
thing is, I think that um the conscious community has gotten a pass for a long time. We allow more things in our community than we would normally allow in other communities. People been doing this up under our noses for a long
Mm-hmm.
time. It's not
Yeah.
nothing new. Like these, all of these same elements that exist in the quote unquote world, in any world outside of a spiritual cult, if you want to call it that, or a system or a group, man, all those people exist within this paradigm too. And it'd be hard for a regular human being, we forget these people human, to get notoriety and clout and money and followers, man. It would take a real person. It's very few people that can get all of those things and not become corrupt. So I think that we be putting too much on them because they talk good to us. You know what I mean? Like Polite been scamming people for years, and people been screaming it from the mountaintop. But because he can talk good, we kind of gave him a pass, or we look past certain things, or we quick to say it's a conspiracy this, a conspiracy that. But nah, man, these just niggas, man. These the same crap people that was out in the streets, and because they talk to us good, we just tend to turn the other way. I'm not in the business of that. Like, I bomb on whoever it may be, whether it be this set, the next set, whatever set we in. We got to stop this. Like that whole thing, people are just feeding off of us, and we allow it, and you would think that we learn all of these things, we know better, and then it's like, well, darn, how you know that, and you still allowing these people to hoodwink you and bamboozle you in the name of consciousness, in the name of science, or whatever the case. I think that, in our community, we just need to take the goggles off sometimes, the lenses, and just
Yeah.
analyze what people for what they are.
Yeah, that's a fact because like you said, this thing been going on for hundreds of years. And what I realized, um, even in the 1950s and 40s and stuff, it even had black men that was doing it back then. You see what I'm saying?
Oh
Even
yeah.
before them, white men used to do it. That's why you get all that James Jones and all of that. So a lot of these things they learn from these white people. A lot of these things these black people are doing, they not do,
Hustle.
yeah, yeah. So it's like it's a trend that they copy from. So that's what she said. Like, how many times we gonna look at this and see these things, and like, I don't know. Like, just think people, we just got a way to inform people all over the world because some people, like, they just don't see it or they just don't get it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like people want to be magical Negroes, man, and they want to follow magical Negroes, man. And it's like people promising pie in the sky, but having you live in the most dirtiest and foulest conditions that you can ever believe, mentally and physically. So what was that they were saying about him when he was him and his followers were in Costa Rica? What that they were smelling so bad, it smelled so bad they wouldn't even let them on the plane.
Man. Yeah, they wouldn't even let them on a plane.
Yeah, come on. I mean, not for nothing. How do you follow that? How do you
Damn.
people that have so funky that they won't even fly you? You got deported and you can't even leave because you're so funky. You know? So the thing is, how is that person gonna give you salvation? They won't even wash your ass, man. You know? So the thing is that, you know, I understand how they target people because I know how when York was heading the Ansars, how they were targeting people. You understand? You know, I got targeted, right? But because I saw a contradiction, some hypocrisy in it, you know, and got steered out of it, you know. But the thing is that they look for certain people that are looking for certain things. They target you on that. You know, that's why we must talk about these things, because if we can help people, you know, steer people away from that shit, you know, like people will say, oh, I'm so and so, and this is what I can do, blah, blah, blah. Well, I gotta see how you're living first. You gotta see the content of how they're living. You gotta see what's going on. And if anything is funky, run. You gotta run from that. You can't accept everything.
And divinely, you know, sometimes people think you're trying to get them away from a religion or from a particular cult. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, maybe that's it. But look at this, man. You don't want to end up in jail. That's what we're trying to keep you away from.
Or dead.
Natural life in prison plus
right.
10 years. That's what we're trying to keep you away from.
That's right.
And then, like, where's your humanity? Like, just as a human being beyond jail and all of that, like, these are people. These are human beings. You know, like, how can you, like, look at your sleep at night knowing that that's how you handle people who trusted you in that respect? And so, I don't know. It's unfortunate.
But you, exactly. And what's worse is there are children involved in this shit.
Yeah.
So once again, you got one of us preying upon men, women, and children. So the thing is that people like this, look, for me, I am no Nature Boy fanboy. I am definitely not. Right? I didn't think he was going to get all this. I thought actually the state's case was weak against him. But in hindsight, right? All the things that he's done, what have you, to me, you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
Whatever you look at, you got.
Yeah. Because like I said, I didn't know anything about him at all. And, you know, this stuff is just, it takes away from how we view ourselves, right? We should think better of ourselves than how we allow, I don't care where we go, whether it's your job, whether, you know, whoever you think you're trying to get close to, you better really make sure who you trying to get close to, because you just don't need to do that. You know, people are selling themselves out for you know, trying to get something quick. Those things, you pay for that. It's a big price to pay when you're trying to get rich quick, or you're trying to get close to somebody real quick. You're willing to do whatever it takes to get you close to that person, and it's going to cost you dearly. When we always want to take a shortcut. The shortcut is not always the best route to take. It might be in some situations, circumstances, but if you're constantly trying to cut corners, trying to get from point A to point B, you're going to find yourself getting caught up in stuff that you probably didn't think it was going to be possible for that to happen, right? And so that's with anything. I don't care what part of life we find ourselves in. It can happen on your job. It can happen at, just amongst your peers. It can happen, in religious groups. It can happen volunteering. It can be any area you find yourself in that you might, somebody might present to you in a certain way that, they have all this experience and they know all this and all that, and you come to find out they don't know a damn thing and get you caught up. And the next thing you know, you're caught up, and it's hard to get out once you get in. It's harder getting out. The easy part is being as they say, lured in. but it's harder. It's hard to get out because that means you got to look at yourself and you ask yourself, how the hell did I get myself caught up in this bullshit? Right?
Yeah.
So you got to deprogram, reprogram, do all this shit because it's like you don't want to go out there looking like a fool to the people who told you not to take your dumb ass over there in the first place. Right? So it's all of those things that you have going on in your head, like, why did I do? And and so that's why I think some people wind up staying longer because it's like, it's the embarrassment of coming out of a situation. Right?
Yeah.
But if there's abuse and all that stuff going on, it puts a whole nother, situation and circumstances that you have to work through because the abuse and all that stuff is taking place. So it's just mind-boggling.
I think that it's some of it has to do with like mental illness, because the thing is that if you look at what York taught or still teaches actually, you have to be mentally ill to follow that. You have to, if you believe that you can shapeshift and go between whatever to 6 8.
Somebody's making a lot of noise.
Somebody's doing pots and pans, and and the thing is that, and to stay there, coupled with abuse too, you gotta be crazy. You have to be crazy. So the thing is that some of our folks, they get preyed upon because these are predators. It's a hustle. It's almost like pimps and prostitutes in a way. You see what I'm saying? That the pimp knows who to look for, of course. And he's got a hustle game, and he's gonna hustle some young lady or some young man too into doing certain things because he knows he's looking for weak and vulnerable people. And that's the same thing that these black messiahs look for. That's what they look for. They look for weak and vulnerable people that they can take advantage of and get them financially, mentally, physically, any which way they can. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to have a facilitator like Filthy Frankie to come along and videotape everything and almost like promote them. And to promote them, which is even sicker. It's sick. It's all sick. It's all sick. It's just so sick, I don't know.
Let me just tell Rue, R-U-E, in French we pronounce it rue. It means street in French. Can you use your webcam? Everybody else on the panel have used their webcam. I've seen them, so that's just the requirement. I mean, you can remove it after a while, but just so we can see you at least for a few seconds. I would like to see your face. Otherwise, feel free to participate in the chat. So feel free, brothers and sisters.
But you look at certain movements that's happening now, like especially with this indigenous movement, and that's and there's no set rules as what these indigenous believers believe in. Where as far as that, they say that the Moors, the Hebrew Israelites, the Indians were Hebrew Israelites, that the Indians were Moors. That it's just so crazy that it's almost like all the crazy stuff is interchangeable and just modular, where they can just promote all this stuff, and then that's another cult, because you have people. I'm not even say their names. I'm not even promote them actually, who have these fake tribes and 3,000 registered members and got to pay like dues and all that, right? And they're actually promoting this nonsense that they're black indigenous. These are cults, and people are being taken advantage of because they're ignorant of or ashamed of, our African genesis here. But
also they're being manipulated as well.
Oh yeah,
because it is some truth in the falsehood. these things get perverted and misunderstood, and they
Yes.
turn allegory into reality, and they lose the message and the whole point of it. We can all do different things, and we can all follow different paradigms. We can all, if it resonates with you and speak to your language to make you understand the greater lesson of being a righteous person, I'm not mad at you for following that teaching or that way. But when you take that science and then you pervert it for your own gain, and you mislead the people, because I'm in a community where we practice African spirituality, and a lot of these people, the youth, they come to these people on a righteous cause. They come looking for freedom and righteousness. They ain't coming here to they really are searching for something, and then they get, crashed out, like gang leaders crash out the young boys. Like it is crazy how they pervert righteousness. I ain't mad at some of these people for wanting to attach themselves to some of these things. Some of these things are righteous in nature, but then you got people and ego, and then they crash our people out, and then it's almost like you can't be mad at the sheep for being sheep. They doing what they know to do. I'm not mad at them for that, but we have to put more accountability on these people that we call our leaders, and it has to be, in my opinion, there should be some council of all of these people, elders, that come together to manage this in a way, because these people run amok in the community. They just do whatever they want to do, and there's nobody holding them accountable for what they teaching and how they teaching it. So I ain't always mad at the message. A lot of the time, the messenger pervert the whole thing.
Well, that's true. You can't be mad at the practitioners because they can be victims. So the thing is that it's the people who head these organizations.
Yes,
Those are the
exactly.
ones that we have to really, should be castigated and should be scorned or what have you. My sister, you said that you practice African spirituality. Which branch? Let me asking you.
I'm gonna say Ifa for a lack of better terms. However, I never negate the fact that I am from a black woman from America in these paradigms. So some of those things that might not be as literal translated in my world as Ifa. But again, that's what we do. Santeria, Lukami, all of these things are just variations of the same thing in different places. So how would I not have my own? So some people might call that hoodoo. Some people might call that something else. But so for a lack of better terms, I like to use E5 because it's most in alignment with how I practice my spirituality.
Okay,
But
well,
again, I do that from a scientific standpoint and not necessarily, or a metaphysical standpoint and not necessarily a literal one. Like, I don't think the Orisha are Power Rangers running around. I understand that those are allegories and metaphors for nature.
oh, so you don't believe in the real or what have you?
No, I believe in the Orisha, but I don't necessarily subscribe that the Orisha are actual living people walking around. Those patakis and those stories that we have received are more allegory and metaphysical in nature than actual literal. A lot of people from where I'm from will take the stories and try to make those real stories. So now you have these entities that are more like superheroes and Power Rangers, something that just doesn't scientifically make sense. Where we know that that's really just teaching us about nature and how to interact with it and manipulate it if we need to. But you know, so
because I was in Lukumi
I
also.
hope that helps.
I was active in Lukumi also.
Yeah,
And,
same energy, same vibes.
yeah, but now I haven't practiced in a while because where I'm at now is kind of hard for me. But yeah, I just wanted to know. Okay, thanks.
No problem. I'm hoping that helps.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm sorry. Just want to tell Kat in the back chat. The requirement is for people to use their webcam. After a while you can take it off, but everybody use their webcam. Everybody that you see on the panel have used their webcam. I've seen their face, and it's not personal. I said that to everybody who never been on the panel before. So feel free, take your time. Okay, so continue, brothers and sisters.
Oh, and another question. Have you seen your Odu?
I'm sorry. Yes, I have seen my Odu, which is excuse me, it evades me right now.
Yeah, you don't have to say it. You don't have to
Oh
say it.
yeah, Kumeji. I
Don't
don't
say
mind saying it, but
it.
yes, I have seen my Odu, and I've gone through several divinations and initiations
Mm-hmm.
about my Orisha. That some people will say the Orisha over your head or over your feet, or I don't necessarily subscribe to that, but there is an Orisha that resonates with me more than the other Orishas. So I have received that Orisha as well, which is Eshu.
Oh,
Um,
oh yeah. Okay, that's what's up.
yeah, so yes, I have. Longer story short.
Okay. Yeah, mine's about to lie.
Oh yes, calm spirit.
Yeah, I haven't received him yet, but both in Lukumi and in Ifa says Obatala. But see, the thing is that practice is hundreds. And I'm talking about in Lukumi. What's here in this hemisphere is hundreds of years old. When you go back to Yoruba land, it's thousands of years old, bro. So the thing is, though, it's established, and it goes by reputation, and people would quote, the diviner must have iwapele, must have good character, right? You as a practitioner must have good character, right? So it's not like one of these magical Negroes. Now, see, the thing is,
Mm-hmm.
it can it be twisted? Yes, I've seen people get taken advantage of. That's for sure. But those stories are few and far in between. But when you have someone who's going to say that I have alien buddies, right? That I'm in commune with aliens. That it's okay to do certain sexual things. That's perverse. That's degenerate, right? With children or whatever. Hey man, there's no excuse for it. That has to go. We can't give passes to people like this. Not anymore. It's just it's too much. It's too much. It's sick.
Facts. Hey, yo, I just wanted to chime in for a second. Just for the listeners, it might be a little confusing because earlier when I was controlling the panel, when I do it, I don't always check. I don't always make the requirement. But Shaka, he's running the panel right now, and he does it slightly different. So just wanted to clear that up because Rue, she was up on the panel yesterday, so I didn't want to be confuse her or anybody else for that matter. But if you can hop up just for a second, show your face just for a second and then cut it off. It's all good. But go for it. Keep talking, y'all. Good discussion.
Oh,
And
yeah.
also, thanks to all the jurors that convicted this fool.
I don't know how anybody in their right mind could have heard anything in that court and come up with anything different. He really shot himself in the foot with all of those videos, all of that weird stuff he was doing. But I feel like that universe allowed him to do all of that for him to just show up at court today and be charged with what he has. Um, but yeah, he definitely, that's definitely the universe working. Again, like I said, those charges from the 24th of March, probably, I don't know how much merit they actually have. But the problem is you don't escape universal law. You cannot escape universal law. You don't be responsible for the death of innocent people and these people children he playing with their lives and their money and their children. Their children are all these women who left their babies to be in carbonation with Nature Boy. The universe ain't gonna sleep on that. How could she?
Right. You reap what you sow. But the thing is also, now I'm curious to see if certain people's going to throw up that 3 sign like they were doing, like somebody in their Wi-Fi wife were doing.
Man,
Don't.
that man is still gonna have followers in prison. I can almost bet it. The way he had them people lined up at behind him in DeKalb County, some fool down there gonna take hold to it and he gonna manipulate somebody else. That's if the real ones don't get to him first.
I want them to throw it up so we all know who they are.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And you know, and it's something, because that same degenerate person who heads that that cult, we could say, over there, right, was talking positively about no light again, right? You know, what the hell? He needs to lose his channel. For real. He needs to lose it. Because he's a springboard for all these weirdos. He's a springboard and a soundboard for all these weirdos. Yeah. I'm a god. My husband's a god. No, get the fuck out of here with that shit. You know, so I think anyone that gives these people a voice, they need to go. Their channels should be taken away. For real. They can lose their channels.
Yeah, it seems like people, you know, lose their channels over a whole lot less, but all that stuff that was put out there, I don't understand how that passed, right? When you hear that, when they hear him saying the things that he said, that should have been an automatic, we got to remove him from that.
Right.
Especially the part when he started talking about what he does with, you know, with his wife and whatever.
Right.
Somebody somewhere should have said, that's a line. That's just a line too far. But no, it's like none of these industries that we find ourselves in, that I'm not gonna say none of them. Some of these industries that we find ourselves in, you know, they want to police certain kind of speech stuff, and you can't say a thing, but you're gonna come out here and you know, not police this thing right here, which is strange. You know, how a lot of these different, because I'm not on any social media, so it's kind of hard for me to, you know, understand how they all work. But at the end of the day, you know, when you find yourself, because I know like on you know, TikTok and some of these other places, you know, they will cut you off in a minute, right? If they think that you saying, you know, you got to change the language, you can't say grape, you got to say grape, you got to do this, you got to keep doing all these things to make yourself to stay palatable on these different platforms. But then you're going to let this go on. I mean, this behavior was filmed and put out there, and nobody thought it needed to be cut off. It's just amazing, you know. And I know they're having these talks now, trying to get people, you know, trying to police the internet now. You know, they're saying there's just too much out there for our children to see. But I mean, you know, something's going to have to, in my opinion, something's going to have to be done, because it's just too much. There's too much access to anybody. I mean, even myself. I mean, I have to wean myself away from this stuff sometimes, even though I'm not out, you know, I'm not on any social media, but I do like being where I'm at now. It's just, but even at sometimes you got to just sit back a little bit and say, you know, okay, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm gonna take a week off. I'm gonna take a couple of weeks off, because you got to, you know, get some of the stuff out of your system a little bit, and you know, and then come back again, right? And so, I mean, but that right there just seemed like it was way beyond the pale. And nobody thought in YouTube land, whoever those people are out there that own it, thought that went beyond what it should have gone beyond. I mean, they will not let you televise somebody getting, you know, certain things done, but that was okay. I'm like, no, it's just too much that we keep allowing to happen. And, you know, we don't stand up for that. It's going to continue to affect our children in ways that we haven't even begun to think. Because, I mean, these babies nowadays, even the 1-year-old, 2-year-olds know how to use it. They probably know how to use a phone better than I do, you know, because they're being raised up with them. You know, shoot, my phone just has to work. You know, I'll keep my phone till it doesn't work no more, because I ain't trying to learn a new phone. My device is mine until I can't use it no more, because my brain can't handle what I don't know. So for me, it's like, please don't break, you know, work for 6-7 years, because I ain't trying, unless I'm forced, you know, something has to force me to buy a new phone, because I don't like learning something all over again. But these kids, man, shoot, and I'll be, you know, for me, like, even if I'm typing on my phone, I go so slow. Now put me behind the keyboard with the computer, I'm fast as hell. But on this phone, you can hang out at me. I see them little fingers going back. I'm like, man, I'm good, you know. But our babies are seeing too much, and we really need something needs to be done, because too much is happening out here, you know, too much. So.
Let me just show you who's back over there. Priest MVP Harris is back order. Priest MVP Harris. Those guys are so funny. Now let's hear from the True Real family, and then we can hear from Akasa.
Oh, well, I was just listening to the panel, and I was what I was listening to was the spiritual aspect of some of this stuff and what we can learn from this. And there's a lot of us that have spiritual gifts. And I have, in my journey, I have seen people that have been blessed immensely with spiritual gifts and take them and abuse them and not recognize the blessings of what they get and take. And this is he's a prime example of, he possibly had some gifts and got drunk with the power of and was able to influence people. And I heard a queen speak of how he was able to convince women to leave their babies and all of that. And there's in the universe, there's a law in the universe, and he had to pay the consequences of that. Now he's in Esau's world and in their court systems and all that type of mess like that. But really, he was dealing with the universal law, and you can't get around that law at all. You ain't gonna get around that. And it just happened that this system happens to be in place. So there's a learning curve there. So anybody that's in that understands that universal law, they know where I'm coming from. Because I'm not a person I'm not into religion or anything like that. I wasn't raised in the church, but I'm a spiritual person, and I often talk about Mercury and retrograde and different things like that. And I was taught about consequences and choices. There may be a negative result, there may be a positive result based on your choices. And he's seeing a lot of the results, and there were warning signs, but he just couldn't help thyself. And he kept getting warnings, even when he was in that, he was offered something. And even if you go study those numbers even had something to do with those offers that he had, but he wasn't going to go for it. And so as a result, he was already shackled and locked down. So we can learn from these things too as well. And the thing is, with these spiritual gifts, we are not supposed to fully reveal everything. And anybody know what I'm talking about. We can't reveal everything. There are some things that we have to keep to thyself. It's like when you use holy oil, you are chosen. You pray over your own holy oil. You don't know what is attached to these other folks. You don't know what's going on in their life. You are that divine and you are that special. You pray over your own stuff. And then you keep it in your realm around your family and leave it like that.
Yep.
So that's all I got to say.
Nah, you teaching today, sister. You're not playing.
Thank you, my
and
queen.
I like people are now in the everybody want to show their altars and their shrines and prove what they know and how much they know, want to know more than you, and you don't know who on the other side of these screens. I saw, for instance, I saw a thing going around on Facebook of the ladies who are putting their kids in pole dancing classes in the name of acrobatics and gymnastics and all of these things. And not only do you put them in the pole dancing class, but you put it online. And even if you're doing it in the name of, I just want to have fun, but do you know where you at? These people are nefarious. They are online looking at your baby on something that is known as a stripper pole as we know it today in the common world. And to justify it, and the world is a crazy place right now, man.
Well, see, my queen, see, the thing is, some of our folks don't fully understand we are truly royalty. And royalty cannot fully just give up everything. We're not treating ourselves royal. You deserve the best of everything. So you cannot be fully of this damn world. We did not lose everything in our punishment. See, we're about to reclaim our throne. We need to be getting prepared for that. But so many of us are so busy trying to be inclusive of this world. I don't give up all my energy. Like people will say, it's Happy New Year. When people celebrating the Happy New Year, they celebrating the dead. Our New Year is in March. We celebrate with Blossom and Bloom. So you giving up your energy. You giving up your royal energy. That's very special. I'm gonna say something that's gonna blow your mind. And it blew my mind when I heard it, because I'm still learning. I'm gonna always be learning.
Is it gonna hurt?
No, it's not gonna hurt. It's gonna blow your mind.
I'm just kidding.
When I heard this, it blew my mind. And I tell you who it came from, the source that it came from. It came from Dr. Phil. I think his name is Phil Valentine. The brother had the long hair.
Yes, ma'am. That's his name.
Okay. He said, and it wasn't a title of it. He said, all vegetation, what we can eat and what we cannot eat, has the Black woman's DNA in it. And how he found this out, every year they have those melon conferences over there in Europe, and they only invite like the 1%ers or whatever that crap is and stuff. And that blew my mind. They know who we are. So you got to remember, the white man is trying to find their origin in the fountain of youth, and they can't find it. And it's already biologically known that the Black woman has birthed a nation. And that made so much sense, because I had to meditate on that. So when they sitting up here experimenting on stuff, and one day they extracting stuff from vegetables and fruit and from the grass and the trees and the leaves, and they seeing all our DNA in this. And that don't exclude the Black man at all. You know, because he plants the seed. You know what I'm saying? We that deep. We can't be partaking our energy everywhere. One of the queens just said it. Got the babies all out here showing everything. These babies are royalty. They are our future. Can't be showing every damn thing. So we have to learn from a lot of different things and be secretive and start pulling back and not just being all open and exposing us certain things and just keeping it to thyself.
Now, before I let Akasa speak, Fear Valentine deals with metaphysics mainly. I don't have anything against him. But there's one time he had a lecture, a public lecture, and at one point he talked about squirting, for those who know what it is. Now, he did tell the people, okay, if you have children, get them outside, because we're going to deal, with something, like for adults. And there was a drawing, but it was blurry. I'm not trying to say that he showed some profane stuff, but to make the long story short, he was saying that squirting is something, I'm not going to say divine, but, something special, Now, there was adult movies for a very long time. And before, we never seen that. Squirting is something very recent. It's really kind of urinating. They put some water inside and they just, let it out, But some people believe that it is something special, that it is a very strong orgasm, And I just thought it was quite strange for him, to be a conscious community scholar and claim that squirting is something special. But, I don't have anything against him.
I want you to say, I want to say something real quick. I was born in I was raised, not born, raised in what you would call an unquote conscious community. I'm up here in Northern California in the Bay Area. And the thing that I want y'all to know is I'm affected by the system. I'll start by me. And when I speak on my channel, I will let you down. All right. I'm not going to always get this thing right. I'm not going to invest in human beings. And please don't invest in me, because I'm going to let you down. That man is a human being at the end of the day. All right. I love Farrakhan, but he is a human being at the end of the day. And you seen a flaw in that man, and that was a flaw that you seen. There's nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, you seen
We got
something.
to normalize that.
Malcolm
That
X's
got to be
family,
normalized.
Malcolm X's family probably don't see just a flaw. Malcolm X was murdered, but the thing is that this is not Farrakhan's. Um, he's not the one who came up with that doctrine. This is his organization. They teach that Africans are living in jungle life. They teach that we had kinky hair because we rebelled against God. He called it disfigurement. He mentioned the essence of ugliness. So he talked about the disfigurement in our internal self, which manifests in the disfigurement in our external self. So, but that's my take. If
We're
people
not gonna
are
always
okay.
we're not gonna always agree. Some of us get this stuff real wrong. You take what you can take from it, and you leave what you can leave from it. Some of this stuff we get so screwed up. Some of this stuff I get so wrong, and I have a channel where you can disagree with me, and we have discussions, and I'd be like, "Damn, I got that wrong," and I said I can learn from that.
Yeah, we all students. We forever at the feet of
Yeah.
somebody.
Well, but saying that kinky hair, basically it's like we were marked, we were disfigured because we rebelled against God, and they've been teaching that for 100 years. So how long does it take until somebody says, okay, that was wrong? They will not say it was wrong because it's their doctrine. But let's hear from Akasa. Feel free, Akasa. Okay, maybe he's a bit busy. Well, continue, sisters. You have the right to disagree with me. It's fine.
Oh, did you just call me? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I didn't know it was a female. Feel free, Akasa.
Oh, well, all I wanted to say is I'm not trying to be long-winded, but basically, like, I've been following this Nature Boy story for a while. And I started my spiritual journey probably about like 6 or 7 years ago. And I think it's so important to not only practice discernment, but realize like how some of these spiritual teachers like Nature Boy, even Rashad Jamal, and like all those people, they use fear to bring people in. Manipulation tactics, all that, but it's at the root of it is fear. And what I've learned through my spiritual journey is fear don't live in spirituality, because it's so disrespectful to think your ancestors, the spirits around you, cannot get you out of things that you don't need to be in. And like I said, I've been following this Nature Boy thing because it really pisses me off. Because spirituality, no matter what faction you're in, whether it's Hoodoo, Ifa, Santeria, whatever it is, it's hard. Especially when you're trying to change, when you're trying to grow, when you're battling yourself, you're looking at yourself in the mirror. It's hard. And like listening to their testimonies and hearing them start out saying like, I was on a spiritual journey and I found out about him, and, he promised us this. And I thought, going into the group would, help, and we're going to help the world and live in nature and all that other stuff, which is good if you're doing it for the right reasons. But he perverted their spiritual growth. He perverted their journeys, and it really pisses me off because, again, I grew up Christian, and, for those of you that are Christian, if it helps you, then go for it. But for those of us that have left Christianity and still trying to find themselves, still trying to grow as a person, still trying to use the gifts that God has given us, it really pisses me off when I hear people like him. And I'm so glad that he is not out on these streets manipulating people, especially the women that he damaged. the women that he manipulated and took from. So that's all I had to say. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, I was about to reply in writing, but since you finished now, Akasa, um, S. Ace Yahawada for wrote Kemet. I presume he meant to write Kemet. Kemet Wars have squirting. Now, have you seen squirting on Kemet Wars? And feel free to get on the panel. Even if you don't want to come up, you have the private chat so you can send the link. Otherwise, just feel free to tell us on which war, or actually which wars, because you're claiming that there are several depictions of squirting in Kemet. I never heard that. I don't know it all. I haven't seen all the wars from Kemet, but it sounds like it's made up. But feel free. If anybody else have seen squirting in Kemet, well, feel free to tell me. I never seen that. I never even heard of that. Feel free.
I mean, the next thing you know, they're gonna be saying taking a dump is something spiritual.
Come on, man.
It's like we have to be reasonable about this. We don't just because someone says something good doesn't mean we can't confront them about the harm they do.
I don't know if anybody on this panel studies the Metuneta or Egyptian hieroglyphics or anything like that,
I
but
do. I've
most of
been
the
teaching
people
it
that
for years,
do.
sister. I've been
Oh,
teaching it for
okay.
years. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Because most of the people that do study that science, I'm not as versed in that science as I probably should be. But most of those people study those walls inside and out. And I would think that if they were on the walls, this would not be the first time that we have heard that, or, that has been proclaimed. And that's my first time hearing it, outside of, Phil Valentine. That's the first time I've heard of that science. So it seems that there would be somebody else to corroborate that for us. But I could be wrong. We could be wrong.
That sounds like
Well, I mean,
someone's getting in the way of common sense. To tell you the truth, I've never heard that before in my life. I wish somebody would provide a source, but I don't believe that. To me, that's pure science fiction.
yeah, I would say that it's diplomatic to say science fiction. But now he
Yeah.
wrote that he never said several. But I mean, maybe it was a typo. But here, if I'm not mistaken, where was it? Kemet Wars. So I guess it was my interpretation. But regardless, he said it's on a papyrus, so it's no longer a wall now. And you brought up square. Yeah. I mentioned it because this is something that was shown, to the public, and the word was used, to me, something recent, that so-called phenomenon, you know. But once again, I really don't have anything against Phil Valentine. There is another lecture he made about feminism, and I thought it was very interesting. That's when he had written a book. I think it's called The Wounded Womb. But he said some things about feminism that I was unaware of. Now, I don't remember the name, but one very, very famous feminist woman had a relationship with an underage girl, you know. I mean, that's what he presented, So some people may have seen that documentary. Now, I'm talking about something that was many, many years ago. I said documentary, that lecture, So I hope I did not sound like I'm being harsh or like I'm judging him. I hope I didn't sound like I was disrespecting him. But usually when I disagree, I just let it be known. So I didn't mean to disrespect, but I thought that it's like beyond the average, you know um non documented things that people claim. But feel free, brothers and sisters. And if you disagree with me, anybody, feel free to get. I'm okay with that. If you disagree with anything I said today, yesterday, 10 years ago, feel free to bring it up. You know what I'm saying? I have no issues with that.
I don't think our teachers are above reproach. some of the greatest teachers I've had, we learn and we study and we sit down in a room and we come to a common ground. So I would hope that the room is understanding enough to know that there's no disrespect to Phil Valentine. He is one of our teachers. He's taught in this way, and I don't think that anything he's taught has been malicious or underhanded. He seems to be a good brother. So again, I piggyback on that because I don't want anybody to misconfigure my words, but I'm also not going to not bring up points of contention because they come from an elder. I think that we have the right to have diatribe and commune in this way, just sharpening our sword.
Yeah, I mean, usually I say that because maybe tomorrow or tonight somebody will say, "Look, Frenchie, he talked bad about Phil Valentine. Who the hell does he think he is? He doesn't know how we live." And some people they try to use the fact that I'm not from America, but it is what it
No,
is.
you should never fear. You should never fear using your voice. It's important that you use your voice, because the thing that I have learned is that you might be holding back on some pertinent information. To hell with what people think. I vibe off of energy. I pick up on energy, and I would imagine most of us pick up off of energy, and people you can tell, like, okay, I can, people can come to my channel and they'll say, okay, I can see that, she's saying this, but I can't say that to her because, if you say one thing wrong to her, then she gonna get pushed out of shape. And believe it or not, there's a lot of channels, they come where they want to dictate. And I said, well, I'm coming here to learn because I'm lost on a lot of things. And people would say, well, no, you came from a conscious community. Those communities are lost, just like any other communities, because we are in this realm, in this system. And so they have done everything possible to suppress our beautiful divine gifts. So we have to keep digging and striving. I'm gifted in one area. Somebody else we got many gifts. And as I'm going on my journey, like I said, my father, he would do people's charts and all this type of stuff like that. And I took my father for granted because he would go on his lectures and all this, and I wouldn't study nothing. Then when my father crossed over, I was left no other choice but to study. And I could even see where my dad had made some mistakes. So where I focused at was Mercury in retrograde. And I talk about that a lot on my channel. And then somebody pulled me to the side and said, hey, you got that wrong. Because I often say, do your own research. Because I'm trying to learn too as well. I learn from even my own grandchildren and all of that. Because remember, we are the chosen ones, and the enemy is doing everything possible to suppress what we laid the foundation of. And I don't think sometimes we take the time to meditate who we are. We the originator of everything, and they're trying to suppress these things. So please, if all possibility, and I can understand, stop trying to apologize and to hell what somebody think, because somebody might have an affinity for, like me, for Farrakhan. I disagree with him on certain things. Somebody got mad at me. Well, I disagree with him, but I have respect for him.
Sister, the true royal family. You're the same sister who was on the panel earlier who told us about the verdict,
Yes.
are you? Yes. And thank you once again for that. I did share the link to her channel. It's in the chat, so whoever's watching this, even after the live stream, you'll be able to have the link to her channel. It's way deeper than Farrakhan. Farrakhan.
Yeah.
I have some Nation of Islam members who felt some way about me because the PhD in Islamic Studies, Dr. Wesley Mohammed, challenged me to a debate a decade ago. I accepted. We spoke on the phone, but then he backed down. I would say out of fear, but I refuted him scholastically on my channel. I have an article about his claims of black Arabs. The Arabs of the 7th century being black, particularly Prophet Muhammad being black.
Well, I would love to
So
hear
if
it.
well, I'm going to share the link in the chat.
Yes, Wesley thinks that
To
he is the Islamic scholar god. Like you can't tell him nothing.
But he
He's
is a
not.
scholar. He has a
He definitely is. What I mean
yeah,
is
yeah.
he is um. I like Wesley Muhammad, but sometimes I feel like he's not he don't receive well to being challenged or being wrong in
There you
general.
go.
Well,
There you go.
he doesn't accept being challenged. Indeed, he will use ad hominem, and but what's funny is that not long ago, a few days ago, I think he said that the aliens from the Roosevelt crash were Asiatic black men. But for those who wonder, you have the link here, Dr. Wesley.
Oh,
Well, I
thank
should
you.
have put refuted. I'm sorry,
Thank
I
you.
forgot to put refuted. But that being said, no, you have Filthy Frankie, and many other people who have labeled me Frenchy and many negative things like that, and he
Oh,
spoke sexually about.
because of your accent. Is that what you're saying?
No, because I live in France. Because I live in France. I was born in France, and I live in France now. My parents are from Haiti,
oh,
so he
And because
invited
of
me
what
on
you
his.
stand for. That's
yeah,
why, really,
Yeah,
because of
the
what you
reality is
stand
because
for.
I'm against rapists and I'm against child molesters, and I talked about it, for
well,
years.
I
Uh,
can't stand it either, and I'm from America.
yes, yes, but I just wanted to explain that he's not the only one. He has many other people who went against me because of my stance against rapists and child molesters, and Pum Pum
No,
Smash
not
Rockwell is one of
everybody.
them.
Not everybody's
Mm,
against you. I support you and
mm,
everything. But I just,
mm.
I just, I just want, I just keep seeing you defending yourself, and you don't have to keep doing that because you might be
It's a
holding
habit.
back. Yeah,
It's a
you
habit.
might. What I'm saying is you might be holding back on some pertinent information. I'm being, I might, you might, you got some gifts here. We all got gifts, you know, and just this, this is your channel. Just open yourself up and just let it flow. To hell with what people think and everything. You coming from a sincere place. I can feel that, and just be sincere, be true to yourself, and just let those things flow. You got to let it flow. Don't hold back what the creator gave you,
Yeah,
and
I agree with you. But see, the thing is that it's not just me being attacked. That I can live with that. Sanetta spoke sexually about my daughter several times live on air.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah,
Lord help
yeah,
you.
and he said that publicly. But
Mhm.
with that being said, that was just in passing. Feel free,
I
brothers and
understand.
sisters.
I
Yeah,
understand. Yeah.
and Jabari Ustase has no problem with that. The
Mhm.
shrine of
I understand.
Isefet that they call Shrine of Ma'at, he has no problem with that. And there's
Mhm.
other people, other scholars, that I don't need to name now, but people know who. One of them, he knows what he said about my daughter. I mean,
Well,
he said that right. Yeah.
you gotta defend your daughter too as well.
Well,
I'm a
that's
firm.
why I've been banging. That's why I've been banging on Filthy Frankie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to do,
And
I often say take care of your immediate situation. And one thing that I had learned when I first came to social media, I'm naive in certain ways, and I was treating people like I treat them in my daily life. And I had to learn, I had to come like real ignorant and crazy. And once I came that way, people backed away from me. That's not the energy of my channel, but they know I'll go there because that is not me. But once I realized that's the way I had to come at some of our folks, because I'm coming with all this love and stuff, and I'm getting a whole gamut. I'm like, damn, I didn't know it was people like that. And I'm telling my husband, it's all kinds out there. Oh wow, and stuff.
Yeah. And
And
I'm actually I'm sorry, sister. I don't mean to cut
no,
you out.
go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
Queen. Go ahead, Queen. I'm listening.
And I'm actually working on an installment that I will release on YouTube, exposing some of these so-called leaders in our community, because ultimately it is our responsibility to do that, because these people, like I said before, we got babies coming into this way, and they come in righteous. They come in because they want to know
Mm-hmm.
the truth and they want to be led righteously. And yes, you have a responsibility to teach what you believe and what you know, but you don't have a responsibility to pervert these people and become what they trying to run from. And I find that more times than not in our community, those heads, they are, and I hate to use the term, but they nigga, I'm talking about just sorry individuals. And so I'm making an effort to expose these people, these polite, this ain't new information. We know that Sinetta been the Don King of the conscious community forever. He been pimping this whole situation for a long time, you know, and that's not okay because he is supposed to be.
First time I didn't heard his mess.
Yeah, and he is where our people come for the first time when they're in this way, and then they meet Sinetta and they don't realize that he is manipulating this system. It's so many stories that we all have from when they were doing the debate series about how people was getting scammed on the pay-per-view, and you know, then you got the polites and all of the politics that was up under the surface of it all. You know, and the people just see the debates and they hear the knowledge and they attracted to that, but we getting scammed left and right. And people been screaming this from the rooftop for years. So we gotta expose
Exactly.
these people. People still
That's
following
the problem.
Malachi Z. York. People still following, blindly following these people, and it's just not okay. It's our responsibility to teach the people.
Yeah,
we
but
do have a
when we do,
responsibility.
yeah, when we do, they say we hating, you know?
Yeah, they just be using that. But see,
Yeah, they say we hating all the way up to the time
yeah.
they
but
going
see,
to prison for life about
when one of our own
molesting our children.
when one of our own is doing that, then we have to get behind our own and keep you protected, you know, and surround you, you know, and that's that energy. See, they want to break that energy and stuff, and we
Yeah.
have to get behind each other and not show any fear.
Yeah, and the warriors, it's just time for the warriors to come out too, the ones that don't care about the prosecution of that. You know, if the universe works in a way for karma to be bombing on them, that means righteousness and goodness is gonna bomb on us. So we gonna bomb first. And that's just what it has to be if we are the protectors of our way. It's not we trying to disrespect these people, but we trying to protect our babies. We trying to protect our community the best way we can. And you know, if we will bomb on these other folks, man, it's time. You know, we got to clean the house.
We starting to see it coming. We starting to see it come in fruition. I mean, we look polite. He didn't went on down. Look at, and there's others that we won't see, and there's some that we will see. It has to stop because, like I said, it's about reclaiming our throne. And when we reclaim it, we can't have this filth coming back on the throne, thinking they running things.
Yeah.
We can't have that. We can't have that.
Yeah,
You know,
and I think that if we make ourselves known, that will keep a lot of the bull stuff away. You know what I mean? Like,
because they know, because you know, like they'll talk about, well, don't be snitching. Oh, that's when it's time to snitch. Because I don't want your grimy ass on the throne. Because you too busy being grimy. No, you're not gonna be on the throne. Because you want to go up. You want to grow up in babies and all that kind of shit. No. We don't want your kind of throne.
We were actually going in on 50 Frankie several channels, and Frankie was really hurt, because he still protects child molesters. I've played the clip where he said he's going to put up some reports in Harlem and the Bronx, and he did not. So we don't even know who those people are. They may be, on his panel doing lectures and all that. But then there's someone that I labeled a fake advocate, who let him on his panel and insulted. Actually, let me just play that clip. It's just going to be a few seconds long. But he was on her panel. She did not even let me confront him, nor Vibene confront him. And he insulted my mother and my children. And she told him that he has every right. Let me just play that clip. It's just a few seconds long. It is, hold on.
That's awful.
At the top. Hold on. There it is.
So fuck that bitch nigga. Fuck him, his mother, his wife, his so-called girlfriend, and his babies. Fuck him. Give a fuck about that nigga. That's the way I give it back up to him.
And you have every right. That's why I say that's between you and Shaka.
So
I've
when
heard of
she
that
said,
person.
yeah, there it is. So you know, everything was all good until she decided to be cool with him. Now, even before I heard that, I left and I told her, look, I'm done with you. I made a video to say, you know, I'm not down with her, no drama about it. For months, she's been insulting V. Bennett and I, calling us gays, and we are both heterosexual, calling us boyfriends.
That's somebody that want to be inclusive with someone. It's like, see, I worked in the world of construction for years, and the few women that would work in construction, they would be so busy trying to kiss up to the men. Like if I had an issue with that man, I had an issue with that man. I didn't have an issue with his wife. I didn't have an issue with his children or anything. Just keep it between me and that person, not your mama, not your this, not your that, and all of that. That's some ass kissing shit at the end of the day. I don't like stuff like that, and all of that. Why include babies in it, and your woman and all of that? That's weak to me.
Weak.
I don't like
Yeah,
that.
That's because they don't
exactly.
have nothing
They're
else to
weak.
stand on.
Yep, and they
Yeah,
know they're wrong.
Yeah, they know
that's
they're wrong.
wrong.
He insulted other people's mothers and children as well, you know, and I documented that before he insulted my mother and my children. But the thing is that,
I'm old
see, that
school. You're not
lady,
insulting my mama. I'm old school.
But check this out.
yeah,
Check this out.
but
It's not
Mario
just that
Sase is
problem.
cool with that, you know.
Yeah, but
A
Shaka,
Smash Walk World is cool with that. But you see, just I want to say, just hold on, please, VB. Now, that woman, instead of saying that she was wrong for telling him that he had every right, she allowed herself with other women. There's a movement now, you know, that I labeled feminists gone bad, and they've been attacking us for months. They're doing live streams against us, and they're labeling us woman haters. And the funny thing is that we were cool with her. We defended her when Frankie was disrespecting her. You know what I'm saying? But that's life. It's just for the record.
Oh,
But
that's
if
a
you ever
bad
hear,
word. Oh, that's
yeah,
a bad word to me. Feminist is a bad word to me. I can't stand a feminist.
I just don't understand the feminist movement. I guess I just don't never understand what they
Me
believe.
either.
It's because
but
it
check
doesn't
this out.
exist. It's
To
a
the young
mind
people,
game. Go ahead.
to the young people out there, it doesn't matter if you disagree with me or if I disagree with you. By no means should we be teaching any young people that we can attack people's family members
That's
for
right.
any disagreement with the
That's right.
individual. And see, for him to say that is wrong enough. But then for her to say, and you have every right, no. We have to correct that in the community. That's way beyond the pale.
That's why
Our people didn't survive all these atrocities by having poor values like that.
Mm-hmm.
You see, that's the thing, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the way I'm old school. The way I get down, it's like if any woman on this panel, her babies is my babies. Something may happen to her. I might have to take care of her babies. So why would I want to attack her babies? I can't do that catty stuff. I can't do that stuff. You know?
And look, and check this out, sister. If somebody attacked your mother, your husband, or your child, and I'm supposed to come along later and say, well, you know what, you have every right. Come on. I should never say that anybody doing that has every right, because they should just take you up on the issue they have with you and discuss it with you. Your kids, your family ain't got nothing to do with it.
You remember I was saying when I came to your channel, I always greet my sisters and brothers as kings and queens. I even do it like when I'm out and about. I don't know what that sister may be going through in life, and it's just affirmations just to build us up, because we use so much negativity towards each other and stuff like that. And I'm trying to build my own up. I want to give positive affirmations. I'm not looking for you to give me anything, but I'm just trying to give flow, positive energy. And if you do positive energy on your channel, then you'll even catch people on your channel doing positive energy. And then, like, if some negativity come to your channel and people got wrenches and stuff, they'll get rid of that negative energy because they don't want that shit on their channel. They don't want it. They don't want that on there. They just want it off of there, because it's enough negativity that we got to deal with out here on these streets and stuff. And I often say, don't allow the system in your house. You create whatever you're going to create in your world. So at least let's try to the best of our ability. If we can't deal with each other, don't say nothing to each other, but don't let the momentum get you all caught up and you say something dumb, and then I got to come back to you and I got to tuck to my queen over here and say, I apologize for saying that. I shouldn't have said that shit from the jump. I knew that was wrong. Yeah, the hell with your mama and your kids and all that kind of, that's stupid. Some stuff you don't supposed to say, but you want to be inclusive with Sinetta. We're gonna see his downfall too. It's coming.
Oh, it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. Yes, it is. It is. Well, brothers and sisters, it's been 6 hours. I want to thank all of you. Always feel free, whether you agree or disagree with me, we can talk. And it's beautiful to see people from so many places who are not making excuses, relying on religion or doctrines to defend rapists and child molesters, and those who defend the rapists and child molesters. Some people are not rapists themselves, but they are very friendly towards rapists and child molesters, you see. So we also have scammers, people who, do people wrong financially, and it doesn't help. I mean, if it's a conscious community, it's not possible that some scammers and rapists and child molesters or anti-African people are promoted, because unfortunately there is xenophobia. Now let me just play this once again for those who haven't heard it, but that Sinetta's panel is anti-African.
As a people, I hate Africans because of what they did to my people.
And that guy who said it, he's one of the main member of the HOK, So that being said, there's good and bad everywhere, and I want to thank my people in America, because like I said many times, the people who have been supporting me the most are Black people in America. So I want to thank you. Stand on truth, stand on principle. I'm just going to make my closing remarks, but thank you very much to all the brothers and sisters who came today on the panel, who were in the chat. Thank you. So stay safe, stay healthy. If I'm allowed to by the Necheru, I will definitely holler back at you. I don't argue or state facts. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. If you do not think right, you will not act right. If you know better, you will do better. Dua itu, dua Necheru. Hotep.
Now, for the record, for those who don't know, I'm giving middle nature classes. And here, that's the flyer. Okay? So, those who are interested, feel free to holler at me. If you're not interested, it's cool. But I recommend that everybody who has not yet seen the video, Kemet and MAAT, Before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, then watch it. It has about 300,000 views and really deserves to have a lot more.
I just want to let everyone know who's listening in now and who's going to listen to this stream in the future. I just had my first Meta Nature class by Brother Shaka today, and I've had other Meta Nature lessons by other teachers, and I can tell you right now, the brother is the best in the game. He is that was one of the best classes I've ever had, ever. So if you're interested in learning the Meta Nature, if you're interested in getting the basics of it, Brother Shaka is an awesome teacher. Get with him, and it's extremely affordable. This brother is giving us his time and his skills, and he's basically giving it away. I mean, I just consider it a donation. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody's interested in learning the Meta Nature, get with this brother right here. He's an awesome, awesome, awesome teacher. And I'll end with that.
Hotep Senu, Hena Senut. This is Julie, also known as Servant of Yah.
and I'm currently taking the Medunetcher classes with Brother Shaka, and it has been an amazing experience. Only 2 lessons so far, and I feel like I've been taking the classes for months, just with the how in depth he goes into the vocabulary words, the construction of the language, the grammar. It's been immeasurable, the experience. And one thing that comes across, hands down, is his extreme passion for teaching this to anyone who is willing to learn and has an interest in learning. So I highly suggest, if you are interested, even a minimal interest, that you subscribe to the classes with Brother Shaka. It's such a nominal amount for how much you get. I know, like, our last class was over 2.5 hours. It felt like 2 minutes, but because that's how, involved you are in what he's teaching and how he teaches and how compassionate he is about what he teaches. Also with sharing materials free of charge, no question, no doubt. It's just what he does. He doesn't have to, but he does. And so I just wanted to give a short testimonial about the class and the effectiveness of the class, and all of that is attested to how studied Brother Shaka is. So I highly recommend anyone with a minimal interest that you do sign up for the Medunetcher class. Hotep.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which is MAAT Forever. Don't forget to watch the video entitled Kemet and MAAT. Don't forget to share Kemet and MAAT on my channel on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or other social media that you use. Email, text messages, you name it. Those who wish to donate can do so on paypal.me/MAAT Forever.